I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Good morning. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. I'm John Greaves III, and on this show, we talk about fitness-related content from a home gym perspective and get your live reactions to the topics that matter to the home gym community, including why am I still wearing this sweatshirt from my adjustable bench series? The answer is because it's comfortable and I like it. It's one of my favorite ones. Yes, I have washed it. In any case, if this is your first time checking out this show, I am co-founder of Garage Gym Life, and I appreciate you giving us a chance today. I promise you are in for a good time. Let me tell you what's on the menu today. In the first hour, we'll have news and other things. Then at 6:45, we're going to have a brand new Recliner of Rage. And I will tell you guys why I'm mad this week. And then in the second hour, we're going to do something we have never done before on this show. That's right. We're going to have more than 2 guests at a time. I've had up to 2 guests if a brand brings 2 people as representatives. I've had up to 2 guests at a time. Today, we're going to break the seal, and we're going to have, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of people on screen. All right. We got my guy, Jared Martin. We're going to have our first ever roundtable discussion, starting with my guy, Jared Martin, who helped me come up with this crazy idea. Our homie, Kinsey, Home Gym Harry himself is going to be here. Our favorite UPS driver and the woman who puts up with him, Jeff and Perrin from Perrin and Powered Up will be here. And of course, the legendary BJ Nelson from the Iron Clinic. They're all going to be here to share their thoughts about the RitFit GATOR adjustable bench. Some of them have not even put out reviews of the bench yet. So this will be your first chance to find out what all of us think. And I decided to do it in a roundtable format. Originally, it was going to be in a recorded podcast, but we just couldn't get everybody's schedule. It's weird, but the only time we could get everybody's schedule to align was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So there you go. So now that you know what's going on, go ahead, smash the like button, hit subscribe for me. And, let's go ahead and let's see who is in the live chat. Scroll on up to the top here. And let's see who was first in the building. Let's find out. Who's first in the building. Boom. All right. Look at this. This he's a poet. Carlos says, don't mind the weather, shake your tail feather. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hey, what's up, man? How cold is it actually even in Houston right now? All right. I mean, y'all have bad weather from time to time. So I'm not saying that it doesn't get cold there. I just want to know how cold it is. And are you outside in it? That's what I want to know. All right. Balance and Grace Coaching. What's up, Letha? Says good morning from Alabama. Have a wonderful Friday. It is off to a great start. So thank you. Let's see here. Already got people commenting on the question of the day. I like that. And we'll jump on that. We'll add those later. Oh, look at Trevor. Trevor's from the hood. He said, what's good, folk? What's up, man? And let's see here. And let's see. Okay, so that's who's in the building. All right, so you know what that means. We got literally 12 of y'all watching. That's unacceptable. You know the standard we've set. I need y'all to keep on sharing this link. Share this video so we can get more people in here, because I think this is going to be a good time. Gonna have a funky good time. Y'all don't even know what song. That's another song y'all too young to know. You don't know. You probably heard it, but you're too young to know who that is. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's see. Carlos said it's only 57 degrees here, and yes, I'm out here. Oh, okay. You out there in these streets. All right. Hey, don't get mugged by a hoodlum in the cold. That's all I'm saying. I told you I got principles for life. Don't get mugged by hoodlums in the cold. Let's see here. Trevor, however, is angry because there's snow on the ground. He has to shovel later. Hey, dude. Hey, head to the mountains. Head to, it goes with it. Actually, it's Louisville in the mountains. I don't know if it's in the mountains. I realize it's Kentucky, so it's up if you look at a map. So I always just think that you guys are in the mountains, but I guess you technically aren't. Oh well, we don't have any snow. Sorry. It is what it is. Ha ha. As my daughter says, ha ha. I would tell her, hey, you sound like that dude from The Simpsons, but that would go right over her head. So I don't even bother. Anyway, now that we know who's here, and we've said what's up to everybody who is in the live chat, it's time we're going to go to our next segment, news and other things. But first, let's shout out today's title sponsor, Bob and Brad, and let's check out their latest product. All right, I'm getting ready to squat. You guys see Naomi's working out, finishing up her workout, but I'm going to go ahead and before I squat, I'm going to do a quick demonstration of the Bob and Brad D6 Pro massage gun. Shout out to Bob and Brad for sponsoring this live stream. All right, so this is the Bob and Brad D6 massage gun, and I'm going to start out with how you turn this thing on. It's controlled by these two buttons right here, and you can adjust it with this third button that's here on the side. So you press that, and that lets you change the angle of the massage gun. Unlike most massage guns, with Bob and Brad, you have to screw the massage gun head in. You don't just push it in, you got to screw it in. So anyway, you push it in, and then you're going to press the top button, just like that. Long press it, and it's going to come on. When it comes on, it's going to be on at the default setting of 1500, and then you simply press the button to go up to the next setting. Okay, so that's 17. That right there, short press again, takes you to 19. Again, now we're at 21. Next one takes you to 23. And the final one takes you to 25. All right. Okay. If you want to go back down, that's where this button at the bottom comes in. You press that. You can go down one at a time, all the way back down to 15. And then if you want to cut it off, you long press, and it cuts off. The unit comes with several heads. You got your options depending on how intense a massage you want and which body part you're massaging. But the one that really gets everybody's attention is this heated head. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you that now to close it out. So once again, a long press, turned on, and immediately see that the head is lighting up. That's because it's getting hot. You can still do all the things as far as increasing the intensity if you want to, but this will give you a nice shot of soothing heat to whatever body part you're trying to warm up. All right, and once again, you cut it off just by long pressing on that top button. All right, so shout out to Bob and Brad. Thank you for being sponsors of this stream and for sending us the D6 Pro. I use it quite often, especially the warm head. Now that it's getting cold outside, who are you holding? Enough of that. We got work to do. All right, so gotta keep it moving. So we had a product delivery yesterday, and I'm gonna play the video. And I want you guys to drop a comment with your best guess about what it is. So this is the first news item. We had a product delivery, and drop a comment. I'm going to play a video. So, and then you guys post your guesses in the comments about what you think it is. And then I'll let you guys know what the answer is at the end of today's show. All right. So once I find the video, I promise I'll play it. Here we go. Just got a delivery here at Garage Gym Life International Headquarters. Can anybody guess what this is? All right, so there you go. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think it is. Wrong answers appreciated. Right answers congratulated. There you go. That's how we're doing it. Let's see. All right. Hey, look at my guy Jonathan that showed up. What up, though? Big J, what's up, man? He says, don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button quickly. Hit it twice. No, hit it 3 times, because if you hit it twice, I think it takes the like off. So yeah, just, you know what, calm down. Just hit it once. Let's keep in mind. We just hit it once. Hit the like button, but hit it with determination. There you go. There you go. First guess, a new car. I need to get a buzzer sound, like the wrong answer sound. I need to get that. I don't know why they didn't give me that in my what you call audio package. We're gonna find it though. Colonial Barber, something from IKEA. Now that would have been true about 3 weeks ago, because I was actually gonna order something from IKEA, and then we had to postpone it after a discussion with my wife. We postponed the IKEA thing, but the IKEA is coming. So you're not wrong. You just ahead of your time. How's that? Oh my, Carlos. Look at, man, look, Carlos. That answer right there. He said a year supply of bacon. That's the wrong answer, but it still gets, because, man, that'd be awesome. Can you imagine a year supply? I mean, I find it difficult to believe that you'd be mad at anything if you had a year supply of bacon. I mean, just think about that. All right. Remember during the COVID lockdown, when meat started to get like scarce and people were scared? They're like, you go to the grocery store and they might not have meat products in there. And then I started ordering bacon from the internet. Yeah, that's right. I started ordering bacon from Amazon. It was a wild time. It was a wild time. Naomi, so when I met Naomi, she was vegetarian, not vegan. She was vegetarian. And I remember I told her, she made something for me. It was good, but there wasn't any meat in it. And I was like, I said, you know, I love you. Well, no, we weren't at that point yet. I said, thank you for making this. And then I was like, I was actually gonna make it. So I wasn't like that guy. I was like, you know, I'll make something and add meat to it. And she was like, but you already get your protein from whatever vegetable it was. And I say, look, on my plate, there always at every meal on my plate, there has to be something that used to move around on its own until disaster struck. Okay. And that's just how I roll. And so when I said that again to her, when the bacon thing happened, and she was like, we're going to run out of bacon, so you're going to have to cut back on your bacon. I said, you don't know who you're dealing with. I got on Amazon and ordered some bacon. All right. That was the end of story time. Anyway, Jared says maybe a leg extension, leg curl machine. I'm going to lose my voice messing around. I'm done making that noise. I'm sorry, but that is not the correct answer. Mostly because we already have a leg extension, leg curl solution. No whammies. And I wasn't begging. Hey, look, begging for bacon. I'm telling you, man, bacon is the thing. It says she didn't have bacon. Now that's what I'm saying. Like, I met her, she was, now. And when I say vegetarian, it's because the college she went to was actually, I'll let her tell the story next time she's on the show, but it was a meatless campus. So you weren't allowed to have meat products on campus, and her mom gave her like like when she was she had like a little fridge in her room, and her mom loaded up the fridge with meat, like sandwich meat, stuff like that. So she wouldn't have to go to the cafeteria or she wouldn't have to buy food all the time. And somebody snitched on her and said, we've heard that there. And then so they came and inspected her room, said, hey, we've heard you got contraband in here. And they had to clear, and they threw out all of the meat that they found in the fridge. I said, that's rough. That had an impact on her and left emotional scars. When I met her, she was a vegetarian. So she was, if she ate any meat, she ate very little meat product, and if anything, it would be like chicken or something like that, maybe a little fish. And I was like, yeah, we ain't, nah, not the kid. Let's see. Hey, I'm telling you, bacon is one of the keys to life, or keys to a happy life. Just I like food you can hear. You know what I'm saying? You crunch on anyway. Y'all gonna make me hungry. I gotta do a show for 3 hours. Moving along. I'm gonna be releasing my review of the Iron Bull Strength Frankenstein uprights this month. I know y'all probably even forgot that I had them, because I got them, I want to say back in March, maybe April. I've had them for a minute, and first of all, I noticed that everybody was like, people were putting their reviews out of it, and I was like, well, I don't particularly feel any pressure to release a review like right now, just because everybody else is, right? So I said, I'm going to go a different way, and I'm going to wait and just do a long-term review to see how it functions over time. And then I ended up having to because I put it because of the way that we installed it, it's actually set up so that it's rotated a quarter turn the wrong way. But then I spoke to Isaac from Iron Bull Strength. He told us how to fix the problem. And so we plan on doing it when our youngest son is here. And so he's going to be here this month. So we're just going to go ahead and do it. So this month we're going to do it, and then we're going to do the video. I'm going to be covering, based upon questions you guys have asked me, I'll be talking about the ease of assembly, the functionality of the keyhole design, the durability of the 1-inch hole, especially under heavy load. That actually was based off a question in a comment I got yesterday. And what I want to know from you guys is, what else do you want me to cover in the review of the Iron Bull Strength Frankenstein rack? Okay, and I'll make sure. So put those in the comment question, put those requests or whatever in the comments, whatever you want to call it, and I will make sure that I add them to what I discuss in the review. All right, now let's see here. I know a lot of you guys already answered some of the answer the question of the day. For those of you who have not, I've already posted it in the chat. So it's pinned. So if you just join us, if you go to the top of the chat, it's pinned. If you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. The question of the day is pinned in it's the first comment pinned on this video. Okay. So if you're watching on replay, just go to the comment section and just hit reply to that first comment that's pinned and put your responses there. All right. So the question of the day is, what are the top 5 tools that you would recommend that every home gym owner get for their home gym? So for me, it's a box cutter or knife. We have a knife. We call it the garage gym knife. It's a little foldable Milwaukee knife. A level. A rat, and I would not have put a level in this list maybe 2 years ago, but then I just started keeping track of how often I actually was using the level, maybe 3 years ago. So like once we started doing a lot of power rack reviews, we went through a period of time where we were doing a lot of power rack reviews. I started using the level to make sure the power racks were level, right? And then from there, it just kept on going. So, so now I use the level quite often. So a box cutter or a knife, a level, a ratchet and socket set, an Allen key set. And I say a set, I like I've got 2 different Allen key sets where it's like foldable. And I like that because, normally you'll get an Allen key with whatever product comes and needs one. But Allen keys have a habit of just dropping. When it's just one Allen key, they just fall, right? It's a little Allen wrench and it just is falling, right? And it's annoying. I get tired of picking the junk up off the floor. So with one of those unfolding multiples, it's easier to hang on to. And I just like that. And then it's easier to find in my bag. So I've got one where it's like multiple Allen wrenches and they're just stuck into like a kind of like a I guess a holder or something, but they always fall out in my tool bag. So I like the folding one, and I've got 2 of the folding Allen key sets. And then the final one is a ladder. A ladder. So our power rack is 90 inches tall, and so I have to go up there every time I want to like hang anything. So like any arm or anything else like that on it, climb the ladder. So yeah, box cutter, a knife, a level, a ratchet and socket, Allen key set, and a ladder. And let's see what you guys said. So Kurt said, shout out to the Statty Daddy. He says a rubber mallet, a socket set with a 1.5-inch socket, an adjustable wrench, an SAE and a metric hex wrench set, and then a screwdriver set. Okay. I like that call out about the having metric, because okay, you get stuff from overseas and it's metric. That is like one of the most frustrating things if you've only got standard sockets. You get some, I don't know, 13 millimeter or whatever, and you like your socket kind of fits on it, and you just like want to punch the air like Trey from Boys in the Hood, just mad. Because then you got to go right back to, you might be able to make it work, but what I always end up doing is going back to using an adjustable wrench, and that's just frustrating. That's the whole point. Reason I got a socket set in the first place. I even got clicks. And it just is annoying when none of those fit. All right, so let's take that off and let's hide that. All right, next one is Big Jared said, good morning. I wish I had more sockets in larger sizes and a better set of wrenches with larger sizes for equipment assembly versus using my adjustable wrench all the time. Exactly. 100%. That is exactly what I'm trying to say. It is the most annoying thing. Really, what's annoying is when you've got like a socket set and then you can't use any of the sockets. You got to use your adjustable wrench. You just looking at your sockets like, why do I even have you? Why do I even have y'all? Like it's their fault. You know what I mean? I feel like I should blame them. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Hold on here. Okay. So JB said a rubber mallet, ratchet and socket set, Allen key set. Yup. Wall control tool organizer. Okay. And a screwdriver set. I like that. Okay. Nice. If you were setting up a home gym for the first time, these are the suggestions you need. That's why I asked that. Carp's Gym makes a very good point. First, he said, yeah, good Allen keys and wrenches with the rounded heads, both SAE and metric, because the ones that come with a product are cheap. Basically, they strip easy and they round off. Whereas if you have a quality one, you can use them for years and you won't break or chip anything. 100%, because you get those cheap ones, man, and it starts to round off the head of your bolts. And that makes life harder for you if you ever have to take anything off or whatever. Also, if you use a socket set and later you want to, especially if you're using it with like an impact or something, you can get it a lot tighter. And for bolts in a power rack, I personally want it to be as, sturdy as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about that. Carlos said an Allen set, a okay, I think you said a wrench set, a level, ladder, and step stool, and a partner to help you put it together. Hey, you know what? Okay, that's thinking. All right. Colonial Barbell Club. Shout out to you. What's up, man? He helped me promote. He helped one of the people that's helping to promote this this show, this episode. Shout out to you. He said ratchet set, impact driver. I 100% agree with the impact. A rubber mallet. Okay. A step stool and a screwdriver. I think rubber mallet's underrated because you do have to, like, occasionally you have to hammer, like, especially when you're trying to get bolts in or to fit or whatever. Sometimes you got to tap stuff and you don't want to make, you don't want to scratch up your equipment. So the rubber mallet's very underrated. Very underrated. All right. Let's see here. What else we got? Big Rob said a tape measure. Not bad. An Allen wrench set. Impact wrench. Yep. Socket set. Barbell rescue brush. Code. Use code vintage when you order. Hey, I ain't mad at you, Rob. All right. Threw the promo code in there. Hey, I'm not mad at you. Y'all go ahead. If you go to Barbell Rescue, make sure you use promo code vintage. All right. Carp also added a drill driver impact wrench. Yep. JB said, I've had recliner rage not having the right tools available when they weren't readily organized and available. Yep. Oh, okay. Colonial Barbell Club said for the weight stack pin, it's a pain in the rear without a rubber mallet. Okay, I've not had that. This is hilarious. I'm just gonna put that. Carlos said, "Hey y'all, Nate's with me, texting in the dark park trail." All right, now I know what you meant, but it was funnier to just read what was written from speech. I'm assuming you either using speech to text or whatever. But if you fat fingered it, that's even fun. That's just as funny. He said, "Hey y'all, Nate with me. We will Nate with you, Carlos. We're gonna Nate with you. We got it. Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there." Rob said, "I thought you liked." Hey, dude, I got no problem with it at all. I got no problem with it at all, man. That's hilarious. That's funny. All right. Anyway, so let's go ahead and hide that. All right. So that's the question of the day. You guys keep on throwing your comments in for the question of the day. And let's jump into other before we move on. I put that question of the day in the rundown. So I do my rundown over the course of the week, and I finish it up the morning of the show because there's certain thing. Well, I'm sorry, I finish the rundown the night before the show, and I finish show prep the morning of the show. But so anyway, I put the question of the day in the rundown yesterday, and then when I got up this morning at 4 a.m. to do show prep, I saw that Kurt has a video premiering at 10 a.m. Eastern today about 10 non-gym items that let's see. Well, I'll just pull this up right here so you guys can see it. So that's right. You know what this means, kids. It's time for the first screen share of the day. Right. That's right. Calm down. All right. So it's for 10 non-gym items that actually run my home gym. So you guys, it is a premiere, and it's going to start at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So about an hour after the show ends. So you guys make sure you head on over there. Yeah, I'm going to be the first one in the chat. First, bam. Look at that. Because that's the kind of person I am. All right. Y'all head on over there. Drop a comment in this live chat. Make sure you guys watch it along with me. I will be there. I'll be there. All right. Now, so make sure we got that. We're all caught up now. All right. Now, the BOB from Fringe Sport drops today. Are you guys excited? Kurt says, I'm honored with the first screen share. Oh, man. Well deserved. Well deserved. So the BOB from Fringe Sport drops today. I got an email about it yesterday, I think. And when I checked the Fringe Sport website, it didn't show it. So let's go look at Fringe Sport's website again, see if it's there. So let's share my screen one more time. Head on over there. And we're going to go, so the Dragonfly. Let's search for Bob. No, not there yet. Okay. So that means it's premiering later on. And I grant you Fringe Sport is in Central Time. So they may have it. It didn't say in the email what time. It just says that it drops today. So, okay. So you guys keep on checking. Are you guys excited? And if you're wondering what the BOB is, it is basically Fringe Sports version of the BYOB from Bells of Steel, which is a Smith machine rack attachment. It basically means bring your own bar, right? So you use your own barbell, with the Smith machine rack attachment. Now, you guys know I'm not into Smith machines, but I know that a lot of you guys are, and the show isn't about me, it's about y'all. So let's talk about it. If you are into it, it gives you the opportunity to have a Smith machine with a little bit more what you call convenience or whatever. I don't know what the cost is because you just saw that it's not on the website. All right, the Bells of Steel one is $893.99. So I would assume that Fringe Sports is going to be priced competitively with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys are interested in that, just in either the Bells of Steel one, go on over to Bells of Steel, or here, I'll make this even easier for you. Let's add this. See, add that right there. Okay, so, or if I just made it easy for you. So if you are interested in the Bells of Steel, BYOB, you can actually just click, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can go and click the shopping button that's in the bottom corner of this video, and it'll pop up as one of the results, the BYOB Smith machine rack attachment from Bells of Steel. If you're watching on Facebook, then you guys just go to the Bells of Steel link that's in. Oh wait, Facebook doesn't let me post it. Okay, Facebook won't let me post that many links. So you got to come to YouTube, and the link is in the video description to go to Bells of Steel, or I guess you can just search bellsofsteel.us or bellsofsteel.uk or wherever you are, and search for the Smith machine rack attachment. While we're at the Bells of Steel website, we can go ahead and check out the next item, seeing as how it's from Bells of Steel, and that is the Arch Nemesis tricep bar, which was discussed on this show. I don't remember when, but I know we talked about it on the show. So the Arch Nemesis tricep bar is available, and I know some of you guys were asking when it was going to come out. It is available. It is in stock, ready to. Let me catch up right here. It is in stock and ready to ship at the Indianapolis showroom. So if you're in the U.S., continental U.S., it is available to ship. This is a multi-purpose tricep bar. You can use it for curls, cables, landmine, whatever. And because you use for landmine, it's important to note that it's got a max capacity of 300 pounds. Okay. It's got black powder coat, and it's got moderate knurling on it. So if you guys are into that, you're interested in that, you guys can check that out by, again, going to the Bells of Steel website. If you're watching here on YouTube, you can just literally click that shopping button that's in the bottom corner. If you do it that way, it's going to support the show. It won't add anything to your cost. It'll support the show, and you're still ordering directly from the Bells of Steel website. So for those of you who place an order using that shopping button on this video or any of our videos, I really appreciate it, because you guys are helping to keep the lights on over here at Garage Gym Life International headquarters, as they say. Carp said, my friend Bob has a BYOB. Wow. There's a lot going on in that sentence. All right. What's up? Looks like that's Jeff. What's up, Jeff? Let's see. See you in a few minutes. Carp said, Fringe's Slim Jim looks cool. I'm more excited to see that over the BOB. Okay. Let's go check that out. In fact, let's go check that out right now. Share this tab. The Slim Jim. Okay. I do not know what the Slim Jim is, and neither does the website. So could it be called something else? Or maybe it's not out yet. So just post in the comments what the Slim Jim is. What the Slim Jim is, and we'll and that way we can find out about it. Even if we don't have time to talk about it today, we can talk about it next week. Oh, okay. So Jeff said it showed up at his house the other day. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what I was thinking. You know what? That kind of says something about us, that the first thing I thought of when he said Slim Jim wasn't the snack. It was the thing to break into locked doors and into cars. That's funny. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Anyway, so all right, so we already covered that. We're actually making good time. I'm very proud of myself. Since it's that time of the year, you guys need to know that you can get your Christmas ornaments from our friends over. Let's close this out. Let's get some of this junk out of here. Microgains is offering Christmas ornaments. And so you see that you got choices to be male, female, and then miscellaneous weights. These are wooden Christmas tree ornaments. They're in stock, ready to ship. You guys can see it's basically packs of 4. What I don't know is whether you could like mix and match, like whether you say, okay, well, I want a weight plate, a woman deadlifting, a dude doing the snatch or the bench or something like that, and then a dumbbell or a kettlebell. I don't know if you can mix and match or not, but they are available. And I remember we got some, speaking of fringe sport, we got the fringe sport it was their kettlebell paperweight. We got their plastic kettlebell paperweight, and I didn't know it was supposed to be a paperweight, right? I thought it was a Christmas ornament. So, and mostly because when I saw it, it was hanging off a Christmas tree. So we got the pink one, the green one, and a red one, and we've had them for years. And every Christmas, we hang them up on our tree, and that includes this Christmas. We're gonna be hanging it up on the tree. But Microgains has those Christmas ornaments, and if you guys are interested in that, anybody wants to get the link for that, I'll throw it in the live chat for you. And if somebody puts it in the comments on replay, I'll add it to the video. I'll give you the link. All right. So, like I said, those are in stock and ready to ship. Now, I don't really know anything about Vesta Fitness, so I don't want you to. I don't want anybody interpreting this as an endorsement of them in any way. All right, but I believe Dennis Solis told me about them. He's got some experience with them. They're a West Coast brand, and so I subscribed to their newsletter just to see like what they're about, see if I could invite them to come on the show or whatever. And because of that, I got a notification. I want to say 2 days ago that they are having a sale. So right now at Vesta Fitness, their holiday sales going on, and apparently it goes until I believe December 28th. Let me double check that. Looking at what it says here. Yes. So everything is 20% off until December 28th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys go there, there's no promo code. It's just 20% off everything site-wide. So you guys see they've got bars and plates. They've got, home gym packages, accessories. I mean, it's essentially the stuff that you would find at any other home gym supplier. But like I said, I don't have any experience with them. I just know, the stuff is on sale right now. So especially if you are happen to be on the West Coast and you're interested in checking them out, I believe they may have a showroom. I'm not sure about that, but you guys can go ahead and check them out. This is a good time to check them out. 20% off. Okay. And the final item is I got a home gym con update. Those of you who get the Home Gym Con newsletter probably already know this, but for those of you who do not, go ahead and subscribe to the Home Gym Con newsletter. But so you can get your updates like this. But basically, Home Gym Con is bigger than ever, right? It's and I mean significantly bigger than ever. It has there's 4,700 square feet of exhibitor space that's already been accounted for, which already surpasses last year's which already surpasses 2025's footprint. Okay. And we're not even in January yet. So he's already surpassed the number of exhibitors. Jake is actively working to attract more cardio brands, luxury equipment companies. So like Water Rower, for example, would be a luxury equipment brand. I don't know if they're going to be there. I haven't looked at the list of brands, but that would be a luxury equipment brand. He's looking to attract more sauna and cold plunge providers, apparel and shoe brands, more apparel, because I think last year only Barefoot was there. And this was new. You know that in the past years, he's basically said it's one supplement company a year, right? Because he doesn't want it to turn into the supplement expo. Well, he has expanded that, and he said he's allowing multiple supplement companies to be there. So if you know of any brand that fits in any of those categories, gym equipment, luxury, sauna, cold plunge, apparel, shoe brands that obviously have something to do with working out, supplement brands, he is actively promoting, and he said basically all the stuff that we consistently request. And the advantage is that 93 exhibitors are already signed up. And he says if we reach 100 exhibitors before January 1st, Jake will lock in the ticket prices for 2026. So if you haven't purchased your ticket yet, it's kind of behooves you to see if you can, and you know somebody who has some sort of fitness brand, it behooves you to convince him to go, because if you get to 100, he's going to lock in the ticket prices for the attendees instead of them going up like they normally do quarterly, right? So you want to reach out to the brands, tell them to send an email to jake@garagegymexperiment.com so they can get their spot locked in. Also, there is yes, I'm aware. I was just about to say that, Kurt. As Kurt just says in his comment, the Pro Strongman League is coming. Yes, there are 9 competitions planned, including for 2026, including the Pro Strongman League. And as a reminder, 2026 is going to be a 3-day event. It's going to go from Thursday, July 30th through Saturday, August 1st. So you can all sing an early happy birthday to me before you leave Kentucky. Okay? Especially if you live in Kentucky. Let's see. And final item to do with this is Jake is going to be on the show on December 26th to close out the year. He's going to help me close out the year. We're going to talk about, where we are so far, kind of reminisce, and we reminisce over this. Oh, my God. I'm just throwing so many songs at y'all. But we're going to kind of like recap Home Gym Con, where we are up to now. And then he's going to give us an update, or kind of like a update on Home Gym Con 2026. That's going to be on December 26th. So yes, the Friday after Christmas, Jake is going to be on the show. It's the last Friday of 2025. So Jake is going to be on the show. I've been wanting to have him on the show, but I was like, let's wait until it's a significant day. So I know you guys may have your Christmas hang on. If you drank too much eggnog or whatever, like grandma, before she got ran over by a reindeer, you may be a little bit rough, but still, Jake is gonna. I think it's gonna be a good time. We'll have Jake on the show, and that's when you can get your Home Gym Con 2026 update from the man himself. All right, let's jump into the comment section before we move on to the most popular segment of the show. Colonial Barbell said he is stoked for Home Gym Con. Let's see. Carp Jim said tier. Oh, you think if that's actually a shoe brand, a weightlifting shoe brand I've been wanting to check out. So I hope they are there. That'd be cool. Kurt said, I know the guy organizing the comps. Says Ashley's hybrid comp is looking hot. Oh yeah. I love the fact that she swung for the fences and started doing it last year. So this is going to be, I think year 2 is going to be even bigger and better. Colonial Barbell Club says, are you going to do a live garage gym up way too early with garage gym life from Home Gym Con? Of course. Of course I am. Because, think about it. So one of the things, and you probably don't know this because I don't know at what point in the life cycle of this show you started watching, but I made a commitment that this show would happen every Friday. And as I mentioned, Home Gym Con is going to be going Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So that means I'm going to be live. But if you're asking if we're going to do another in-person show, yes, we are definitely going to do another live in-person show. I am already putting together the stuff for the scratch and dent giveaway. And then I've also am putting together the list of brands who are going to be on hand that day for the live show. And then I'm also, well, I'll go ahead and I'll say something. Say it now. We're also planning on live streaming the during the part where the public is going to be there. We're planning on doing a live stream on Friday. So from so let's say roughly 3:45 till for about, it'll be a 3-hour live stream basically on Friday afternoon on at Home Gym Con. So yes, to answer your question. Trevor said live shows are the best. We laugh, we cry, we give away stuff out of John's garage. I mean, I can't think of a better way to to describe it than that. And Carb said, if nothing else, we're going to be there for Kenzie's mom's cinnamon rolls. Exactly. How could that? That's the best way to get your hands on those cinnamon rolls. So I don't see how we could not have it. Okay. So that's definitely going to happen. In any case, that was the final comment about this. And that means it is time to, that's right, time to crash out and lash out. Let's go. It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, because he's not happy.
Okay. So today's recliner of rage is dedicated to one of my chest hairs. That's right. It's one of my chest hairs. So here's I'm gonna explain. Just relax. I'm gonna explain. So I continue to wear my dog tags. Although I've been out of the Marine Corps since 2008, I continue to wear my dog tags for the simple reason that when I got out and I stopped wearing my dog tags, it felt weird. So I just started wearing them again. It's just like growing my goatee and my hair back. Little fun fact. When I went into the Marine Corps, I had a beard and I had hair. But I switched to bald because in the Marines, you have to have a haircut at all times, right? And I didn't want the hassle of going to the barber shop. What if the barber's closed? You know, what if I don't like the way the base barber cuts my hair? I was like, I ain't going through all that, right? I'm just going to shave my head bald. And I think having a mustache when you don't have any hair on your head looks weird. So I said, we're going hairless except for eyebrows. So I went hairless except for eyebrows from 2000 to 2008, and now it feels weird to have hair. And so I just keep shaving, and in the same way, I continue to wear my dog tags because it feels weird not having them on. Well, every time I lay down to bench press, my dog tag chain catches on this one invisible chest hair. So when I sit back up, it catches on the chest hair and I feel it. Now, it doesn't happen when I get out of bed. Doesn't happen if I get up after laying down on the couch or in my recliner, not of rage, my actual recliner in the living room. It doesn't happen. It just happens when I lay down to bench. Well, that's all right. I'm a man of action. So I diddy-bop on over to Walmart. I got me a Manscaped. I don't remember which one it was. It's whatever was they had. I said, the one, I need that right there. Headed on home and got rid of the chest hair with scorched earth, right? But apparently that one hair that's invisible didn't believe me because it keeps on catching on my dog tag chain. So I'll sit back up after benching. I'm like, I know I shaved that off. Why? What is this? What? It just caught right there. It just caught just now. There's no hair right there. I don't see any hairs right there. It just caught right now. I try to get up, the thing catches, and I'm just like, okay, it's frustrating me. So why do I call it invisible? Because when I go look, I don't see anything. So I'm glad you asked, Carlos. When I look, I don't see anything, but I know it's there. So either the hair jumped down and ran away before I could get to the bathroom mirror, or it's got a miniature cloak of invisibility. This is a problem. And if you know anything about me, you know I eat bacon and I solve problems. I eat bacon and I solve problems. So I'm not going to rest until this rogue chest hair is identified and brought to justice. Okay? Stay tuned. Because this ain't over. It ain't over till I say it's over. And remember, chest hair, you asked for this. You asked for this. Okay. Okay. I need to calm down because it's about time for me to add our friends from LinkedIn. I got to act all business-like. But before we do, let's check out something that will not have you in the recliner of rage. And that is my favorite product from Bells of Steel, the Bare Naked Powerlifting Bar.
This is the Bare Naked Powerlifting Bar from Bells of Steel. I have used a lot of bars since I started lifting weights in 1993. And this bar has got to be one of my favorite. I have loved this bar since I first saw it at Home Gym Con in French Lick in 2023. I saw it, tried it, and I had to bring it home with me. It's a bare steel bar, so I said, let me see how well it holds up without any maintenance done to it. And when I say zero maintenance, it still has a blood mark from where I hit my forehead when I was getting set up to squat one day. And I left it on there because I committed to do zero maintenance on it just to see how the bar would hold up. And it has not disappointed me. So if you want to add this bar to your home gym, go ahead and check it out. The Bells of Steel website, whether you are in the US, the UK, or Australia, and use promo code GGL to save at checkout. But you don't have to believe me about how cool this bar is. Check out what Andrew Ponzer from Bells of Steel has to say about it.
It is a bare steel, so no finish on the bar itself, but we did chrome on the sleeves, so that way we're not having any rust issues. This is a 45-pound bar, aggressive knurling is what we like to say. 1,500 pound rate capacity. This is a straight SBD bar. If you like to squat, bench, deadlift, and you like to get your hands tore up, this is the bar for you.
All right. So like I said, I love that bar. And we're going to talk about something else that I love. But first, shout out to the Central Time Zone. It is 6:52 in the morning. If you guys just joined us from LinkedIn, we are going to have a very special event on the show today. Today's a little bit unusual. Okay. I've got not one, not two guests, but six. Okay, I got 6 guests, and all of these guests are people who we've had on the show today. So within 8 minutes, we're gonna have these guests come on, and we're gonna talk about a product that I've had a chance to play with in my home gym, which is the RitFit GATOR. But first, let's go ahead and check out the comment section and see what people are saying about my crash out about the Recliner of Rage. I'm having issues with the rogue chest hair. And so let's see what the comment section has to say. So first of all, Rob from Vintage Weight says shots fired at Coop and Brandon. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what Coop and Brandon. First of all, I told you we have a policy of not talking about Coop on this show. Maybe I didn't, but I thought it at you real hard, so you should have read my mind. But I'm not sure what either of those people has to do with my chest hairs. Very, very little, I can tell you right. And as far as I know, they've had nothing to do with my chest hairs. He says, because I said the thing about I don't believe in being bald with a mustache. I mean, look, just because I live my life by a code doesn't mean they got to live their life by the same code. They want to have a mustache and no hair. That's completely up to them. I'm just not going to do it because I think it looks weird. I think you look like a major Winifred Augustus Payne. I ain't about to do that, okay? I ain't about to do that. I ain't about to that life. I'm not going to do it. Trevor said, buy the rubber dog tag silencers. No, that doesn't. I know what you're talking about, but that doesn't help because it's not. I don't think it's the dog tag itself that's the issue. It's the chain that's the problem. Well, I don't know, whatever. But I've had the rubber silencers, and yeah, that's annoying too. I'll try it again, though. I'll try it again. Kurt says, so it seems like it was a stress-free week. No, That's stressful. The junk happens all the time. And mostly I thought about it because I was benching earlier this weekend. So it happened. Trevor said, I came to eat bacon and solve problems, and I'm all out of bacon, but never run out of problems. That's right, man. I am a problem solver. Jared says the Bear Steel Bells of Steel Power Bar is legit. Yes, it is. I've had the thing since 2023, I think, and I've done zero maintenance, and that bar is hanging in there like a champ. I mean, zero maintenance by design. One thing that I can't really tell is the spin of the bar, but since I don't really deadlift with it, and I don't do any, I've got a different bar that I use for any kind of stuff like that. The sleeve spin hasn't, if it's degraded, I haven't noticed, and it wouldn't have been an issue anyway. And it didn't really have a ton of spin when I got it because it's a power bar. So I couldn't comment on whether, over time anything like that happens, but I just know as of right now, I love that bar. And I said before, and if you want one, if you're watching on YouTube, it's one of the things that's in the shopping section for this video. But I've told you guys in the past that I actually know other brands who sell gym equipment they'll have like a company gym, and they have the Bells of Steel Bear Steel Power Bar in their gym. So it's a legit bar. Carp said he likes the Hydra 7 rings bar. It's a similar bar with thicker sleeves and more knurling rings. I'm familiar with the 7 ring bar, and it's got more knurling rings because it's to help like if you're trying to learn weightlifting, so you can figure out your hand spacing. I don't really do any of the weight. At this time, I don't plan on doing any of the weightlifting movements. If I do a snatch, it's going to be a one hand. So it'll be like a one hand snatch with a kettlebell or with a bar. So it's never been an issue. As long as I have the center knurling, it's not a problem. I'm going to tell you this, Jeff. I don't need anything Coop related. Nothing. Kurt says bald with a mustache is a good look. Nah, no, it's not. You forgot. You've lost your way. You've lost your way. I'm gonna assume that this comment is a manifestation of PTSD, and you need to if you need to talk to somebody, you got my number. Call me. I'm still perplexed on the still wearing dog tags thing. I'm just telling you, it felt weird when in 2008 I got out, and I'm the kind of guy that rubs it in that I'm out and you're still in. So I went back to my unit. They were actually getting ready to deploy. I showed up. I had cut my camis, had them tailored into shorts. My desert camis, I had them tailored into shorts. I showed up in flip. I showed up all the stuff you're supposed to do. So I showed up in shorts. Camis were tailored into shorts. Showed up in, I had on flip flops, and then I had a goatee and no dog tag, and that felt weird, completely weird. So yeah, I just said, all right. Went right back to shaving, and I put the dog tag back on. JB said, I heard Rogue always overbuilds everything because I called it a Rogue chest hair. I see what you did. I see what you did there. So if your chest hair was tightened and now Rogue, it will break off easier. You know what? You might have a point there. Shots fired at Titan, but they deserve it. Carp said, I think a center knurling ring is underrated. Yes, that is something, especially if you're benching. That center knurling ring right there, so you know that you're centered. Or when you're squatting, especially in competition, I believe just about every federation where I've competed, they've had a center knurling ring on the squat bar. Well, except so I competed in the USAPL when it was part of IPF, and they just had that one bar and they didn't have a center ring. So yes, I agree with you. The center knurling ring is highly underrated. The cool kids that jump out of planes for no apparent reason never wear dog tags around their neck. If you know, you know. I mean, look, dude, the fact that you jump out of a plane ain't got nothing wrong with it immediately disqualifies you from being the person that I take advice from. Okay, you know what we are? I was part of the United States Marine Corps where we would shoot cannons at the people at the little dots coming out of the sky with the cute little mushrooms hanging above them that showed that they were parachuting down. We shoot at them. So That's the thing. That's how we spend our day. All right. So there you go. Anyway, enough about my chest hair. It's time to invite our guests in. So first up, we've got, let's see, is my man even here? So all right, oh, there he is. Here he comes. There we go. He's like, all right, you're first up. You gotta be there. You're first up. Go ahead and sit down. Get your coffee. All right, you ready? You ready? You good? All right. So first up, we got the man who helped me come up with this crazy idea to even have a roundtable at 7 o'clock in the morning. My guy, Jared Martin. We've got Kinsey Wallentine, Apex Home Gym Lab. What's up, Kins? All right. You gotta We've got the legend himself. That's right. This is imagination. BJ Nelson's here. He's here. All right. We've got the founder of Curl Timber online competition, Harrison Land, everybody. Harrison Land. And last but not least, we got Perrin Rondo, and she asked if she could bring Jeff to, yeah, sure. All right, he's here. All right, here we go. Look at that. Here, let's play. What's up? All
What's
right.
up?
Man, this is the most. First of all, my screen looks insane right now. I got so many people on here. My skin itches. I'm like, why do we have so many people on here? There's a lot of y'all. Oh man. So we are going to. There we go. Colonial Barber Club said this is Hollywood Squares live. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I wish our host had a mustache.
Now,
Yeah.
Hey, you are several years too late. This is Trevor said this is too much star power on one screen. Hey, there you go. All right. So, and hey, Kevin said we got. So it's funny because when I was asking you guys about this, right? I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea or not. But as soon as I started promoting it, I started having people asking me if they could be on the next one. And I'm like, because the first thing I thought, I was like, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. How am I going to get? It's hard enough to get a bunch of people together at like 5 p.m. and like, hey, we're pre-recording it on a Saturday or whatever, which as you see didn't work out. And now I've got people like, hey, can I be on the next one? Can I be on? Like, y'all have nothing to do on Friday mornings, which is how I know that's why you're watching the show. Anyway, all right. So look, let's start with why we're actually here so people understand. So this is a big topic. We are talking about the RitFit GATOR. And it's so I'm laughing because the chat is hilarious. Because JB said it looks like one of those videos where everybody's singing different parts of the same song. It's gonna be one of those days. So we're talking about the RitFit GATOR. Each one of us has had a chance to play with the GATOR. I don't know how long everybody's had it. I think we've had ours for like maybe 3 weeks. Total.
Yeah.
About 3 weeks we've had ours. So let's go around and just let the audience know how long has each of you guys had the GATOR. We'll start with Jeff and Perrin.
We got it like 6 months ago. We were like the world premiere first people to get it.
World premiere. Okay. That sounds almost true. Now let's go to Perrin for the actual truth. The real answer.
I think we're in our 3rd or 4th week with it right now.
Okay.
About 4 weeks.
Okay. Jared, I want to say that you got yours before anybody else because you already had yours when I was talking about putting mine together. So when did you get yours? Oh, he froze.
Probably 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks? Okay. All right. What about you, Kinsey?
3 or 4 weeks.
I got mine right after Jared, so 3 or 4 weeks as well.
So, Jared, was that right that you got yours first?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what happens. Okay. All right. Jared makes things happen. Okay. Let's see. Harry, how long did you have yours?
Kinsey got it right after Jared, so similar time frame there.
Okay. And then BJ?
Yeah, I got it about 3 weeks ago after Jared was asking me about it. I didn't even have it yet.
I told y'all Jared is the first. So there you go. If anybody wants to know who's part of the Illuminati, I'll just show you right now. I'm not gonna say anything, but it's him. That guy right there.
Jared.
He even got the shirt on.
Wow.
Oh, I
Company
forgot to put
man.
my shirt on.
I didn't want to look like a shill, so I didn't wear the RitFit shirt today.
Look at that.
Woof.
Yeah.
Shots fired. All right.
I almost wore no Fates shirt, but I spilled some coffee on it. I'm sorry.
You know what? It's funny because I almost wore the Carp's gym shirt because that's in the rotation. I wear it quite, but I didn't wear it because I worked out. No, I didn't work out in it this week. I wore it to work. Yeah, I wore it to work this week. It's been with me to church. Been a lot of places.
He's here live. He's normally part of the replay gang, right? But he's here live this morning. It would have been.
Carp?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he starts out with us and then he'll jet off to actually do work because I believe he's actually in the car. So whenever you guys see him in the chat, he's trying to text or type in his answers on his phone from the car. So yeah, it's completely unsafe, but safety third. You know how it goes. All right. So let's start with the first thing I want to talk about is the assembly process. So we're gonna go. If anybody has anything that they want to just like throw in there, something that I didn't think to ask, feel free to just go ahead, interject it. All right. So Kinsey, I asked how long each of you has had a chance to play with the Gator, and you literally played with it by assembling it upside down. So it's pretty obvious that for you it was not a problem. But was there anything that surprised you about the assembly?
I was actually very surprised that it was like 90% assembled. Like, I actually thought it was going to be impressive that I assembled it upside down. But when I opened, because that was my plan all along, and then I was like, whew, because when I opened the box, all I had to do is put pretty much the, one of the bases on. So I was like, oh, that's easy peasy. So I don't have to hang upside down for longer than 5 minutes, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it was cool that it was already assembled. I've never seen, this is probably my 5th or 6th bench I've gotten. I've never seen a bench like almost all the way assembled. So that was cool.
Okay. So, and in case anybody did not actually get to see that, I'm going to make sure y'all see it because that's the kind of thing I do. There we go. So this is Kinsey right there assembling said bench. Upside, that's right, down. Upside down. How long did it take you to do it?
There for a second. It took 5 minutes, like pretty much right on the dot. So right at that 5 minute mark, I was like, okay, there's so much blood rushing to my head. I gotta speed this up.
Okay. I'm impressed you didn't have anything hooking your feet because it looks like you're just gonna like it looks like you're doing a handstand because of how
I got some really padded calves, we'll say. That's what we'll say.
Padded calves.
I got some padded. I got
That's
some
what we're gonna call it?
calves on me.
Okay. All right.
Some
all right.
kinkles.
Okay. Hey, you know what? As a side note, everybody with little calves is always mad at people who have big calves naturally who complain about it. So yeah, just feel free to never mention that again. All right. Anyway, let's go back around. So anybody else had anything that surprised them about the assembly? Jeff
pulling it out of the box.
Pulling it out of the box.
Pulling it out of the box. It was so heavy because it's already all together.
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing that, and actually that plays into something I want to bring up later on when I guess like a defect that may have just been with mine. But I was like, okay, when I saw what the issue was, I was like, did we do that? Then I was like, oh wait, no, the whole thing came practically assembled. This happened at the factory. So yeah. What about you, Harry?
Out of the box, had to get my wife to help me with that and get it down to the basement. So I would have liked, it's nice that it's fully assembled, or pretty much, but if it was, partially, you could break it down easier in pieces to your gym. So no, definitely a trade-off there. I did like that there wasn't any Loctite on the bolts, so it was super easy to put those bolts on. There are some other benches where even an impact wrench can't put it together, so appreciated that.
Now, is that did you have a chance to play with the Bastet at all?
I did, yep. The Bastet.
Okay, so that's why I was asking you that, because with the sequence for us is we put together the Bastet and then we put together the Gator after that, and so the Bastet comes like normal stuff does. You have to put it all together. So when the Gator showed up and it's pretty much all put together, I was shocked. I was like, oh wow, okay. I see now why Jared says this won't take that long. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty much it. Okay.
It was my
on the basket is the difference, right?
Yeah. Well, the pads and then the bolts. What were we gonna say, Perry?
I was saying it was my first bet. Jeff was like, "Hey, you're gonna put together a bench," and he was all excited because he was gonna make me put together the bench. And then I basically was trying to lift it out, and I couldn't because it was too heavy. And then he realized it was all one piece, and he was like, "Dang it!" She thought I was doing the work.
Curses foiled again.
Add-on for her.
Okay. All right. What about you, BJ? Anything weird? Anything jump out to you about the assembly?
No. It's funny because I I do think back to assembling the Bastet, which I got weeks before getting the Gator, and most benches you got to assemble most of it. There's only been a handful of benches, like 3, I believe, that I can recall that came almost completely assembled like this one did. Right. In fact, one bench came completely assembled, which was quite the experience getting that out of the box. But cut the corners down, roll it out, and go on with your day. But this one, this was easy. It took surprisingly little time to put together.
Do you prefer this way, or would you have liked to have it come in, not fully assembled?
Yeah, I do enough assembly that I don't need to put it together another bench. And if somebody gets joy and happiness out of that, go Marie Kondo any bench you want, okay? But I don't need to sit around tightening bolts. The Bastet, it was fine. It's great. It's, that sense of accomplishment of putting something together. It's all well and fantastic. But when you've got, enormous bolts like you do on the Bastet too, not really something I want to be cranking down with all the force in the world.
Nice. Okay. And I know the thing that surprised all of you guys the most, especially, I think Jared, you said something about it, was that I managed to turn my video into a 20-minute long assembly video. You're like, it's only 2 bolts. How'd y'all manage to make it that long? It's like, hey, that's what I do, man. What'd you say, Jared? You said that was Harry? Oh, yeah, that's what Harry said. Yeah. I was like,
bolts.
Yeah. Did you ever end up watching the video? Our video to see what we did? Why it was so long?
No.
Look at that. Just all right. Well, thanks for coming, Harry. Sorry you gotta go. All right. So actually, so what we ended up doing was, because I knew this, let me back up a little bit. So we said we were gonna do an unboxing, right? And then when I unbox it, I take it out, I see it's just one bench, it's pretty much all put together, and it literally is just 2 bolts. I was like, well, the thing about our unboxing videos is we don't do any editing, because the idea is you get to see the raw, any mistakes we make, whatever, right? Because part of the idea behind them is so that a lot of this stuff can be intimidating to people when they first start. And I want them to see, okay, we've done a lot of these. Like BJ said, we've done a lot of these, but we still make mistakes. It's okay. And I want people to be able to see us survive the mistake. We screwed up. Oh, wait, you know what? Just do this. There are times when we have to start all the way back from scratch. It's okay, right? And also I want people to see why sometimes it recommends, hey, have 2 people, because you can see, why you need 2 people sometimes to do these assemblies. That being said, there's only 2 bolts. We're like, what are we gonna do now? So I said, well, you know what? Let's turn this into kind of like so we ended up kind of like recommending product. Okay, like, hey, what tools would you need typically if you're putting stuff together? And then we just started talking, and we showed like some things that you could do with the bench, and we kind of did like a first impression, what we like about it, kind of thing. So that's how it ended up being 20 minutes long. It's not like 10 minutes to screw in each bolt or whatever. So we've kind of already talked about this a little bit, but what did you guys like most about the Gator? And while you guys are collecting your thoughts, I'll tell you that I personally like the fact that it's sturdy enough to use as a flat bench. And then so when I go to, like I said in my video of the Gator, when I assess any bench, I don't care what the special thing about it is. The first thing I assess is, can I use this as a bench? It's a bench. Can I bench on it? Right? And you'd be surprised how many benches come, or I see, and it's like, oh, it does all these crazy things. I was like, yeah, but can I bench on it? Can I use it as a bench? Oh, well, no. It's like a phone that doesn't make phone calls. or a pen that doesn't write. I'm like, oh, it does all this other stuff. It doesn't write though. So I like the fact that it's sturdy enough to use as a bench. And then additionally, I like little touches like the lanyard that it uses for the I don't know what you call that pin, the selector pin for the head pad, whatever. So I like the fact that they added that lanyard. And then Naomi likes that it's light enough to move around the gym, that the handle's easy for her to pick up. So starting with you, Jared, and then I want to hear from you, BJ, and then everybody else. But I know that you guys lift really heavy. So have either of you done any heavy pressing, like bench, incline, overhead on the basket? Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, and before we move on from the assembly, I don't know if packaging is in that same category, but I thought the packaging was very good for the bench.
Okay.
It came perfect. Nothing moved around. It was in there really well. Okay, so we're asking about heavy pressing or what I like about it.
Yeah. Like, what do you like? I like that it's sturdy. Have you, enough to bench with it flat? And so I'm saying, like,
yeah.
Have you done any pressing? And then what do you like about it?
Yes, and I think most adjustable benches, especially if they have a rear support, in flat they can hold 1,000 or 2,000. I think they can hold whatever you're going to throw at it, the strongest guy. What I wanted to test it at is at that 15-degree mark, and yeah, I did some heavier pressing in that 15-degree, and I videoed it, and it felt super sturdy. So for that, it's a safe bench, and I think it's plenty sturdy for 99.9% of us using this.
Okay. I like the so did you post any videos of that, like on Instagram?
I shared a story. I didn't post it, but if you want I can fire it to you. But
yeah, go ahead. You said
me plus a few hundred pounds. And
okay.
It was
if you want to well, don't worry about it.
Okay.
If you want to DM it to me, go ahead. And I'll throw it up here so people can see how it functions, because I think it's important. Like I said, with one of my beefs is that with you see some of these reviews and they're like reviewing it. No shade on people who lift 135, but I'm like, it doesn't help me if I see you review something with 135 pounds, because the likelihood is I'm going to be, for a lot of movements, I'm going to be personally using more than 135. Right. So how does that help me? BJ, what about you? You lift pretty heavy. Have you
Yeah. So oddly enough, just like Jared, I was quite literally just doing some low incline benching, one of my favorite pressing movements to do. I was doing about 15 degrees on it. It felt solid. It felt secure. It's a little more slippery than I would like the padding to be. I'm not a big fan of that. But that's just I sweat a lot. In the winter, it's a little bit less, but even still, when you got dry fit clothes on, you're going to move all over the place on something like that. I also did some box squats on it the other day with about 450 pounds, and I was surprised it didn't seem to want to lift up at all. I thought I might have to put a pad on the rear near the head, a plate near the head of it to try to keep it from shifting forward or tilting forward a little bit, but it stayed very planted. I was very surprised.
Okay, that's actually something I didn't even think about with like box squats. So that's cool. Let's go to you, Harry, because you claim I'm excluding you from the lift heavy crew. So I'm going straight. Yeah, I see everything. I see
Not
everything,
Harry. For sure.
All right. So what? And actually, JB said that Mayor Mortals drag it out of the box, and you probably just curls yours out of the box. So there's that as well. We want to, let's get that straight. But what about you? Have you done any heavy pressing, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, I did
a lot of bench on it and tried to do some decline. I guess we'll get to that at some point. But I think it's an okay bench for bench pressing. I think it's a better accessory bench. The pad, I like a wider pad for bench pressing. It is slippery, like we've been talking about. But you can always add something on it to lock in your shoulders, whether that's the AbMat gripper, the UPR Tech Bench Pro, or something like that. But then you have the flexibility of having a slippery pad as well, and you can take it off. So I don't mind that it's a slippery pad, but you do need something to put on top of it if you're going heavy. But it is a little bit soft, I think, for going super heavy when you're bench pressing. You want something a little bit firmer to support you. But that's sort of my impression of it as a true bench press bench.
Okay.
But very stable. I mean, yeah, I didn't have any issues with that.
So I didn't really have issues with the. Well, no, I did say that I wish it were a little slicker. So in my video, I put my hand on the bench, and I just push down and like that. And I was like, on a dedicated bench press bench, if you put your palm down on the bench and then you shove forward, it's not going to move at all. The bench might move before anything. Nothing's going to move. And so I said that I wish that it had a little bit more. It was a little bit grippier. And actually, I'm happy to hear that, because I was like, maybe this is just me being picky, saying that it's not, it's too slippery. So Kinsey, what about you? What were your impressions of the bench? And I know you said about your decline or whatever. Right now, we're just talking about like, what did you like about it? So it could be anything that you guys want to bring up about the bench that you like. So go ahead, Kinsey.
I'll take this route because I obviously care about the aesthetic of my gym. I think this bench this looks really cool. And I know as far like it's not, I agree that it's slippery and stuff like that, and it's not as wide and it's a little squishier. But I always bring up in my reviews that, I would have things a certain way if this was just my gym, but I build my gym, for my clients really. And I've noticed that my clients prefer the Gator over my rep bench, over the Nighthawk, just because it is a little squishier, and they're not pressing super heavy, and so they just like the usability of the RitFit. So that's what I've noticed. I have a unique perspective from people that don't bench heavy, so it's a good accessory bench, like Harry said.
So before we go any further, I moved the banner, the show banner, out of the way, because I was like, is that a cat deadlifting on her hoodie?
Yeah.
I love it.
I was like, hey, let's pause to look at the cat deadlifting on her hoodie. All right.
My favorite hoodie.
I like it. I like it. Okay. All right. Jeff and Perrin, what about you?
I use it almost exclusively as an accessory bench right now, because I'm doing my 8 weeks to a bigger bench series, and I'm using the same bench in that. So all my benching is being done on the Bastet with the launch pad on it.
Okay.
So the RitFit's being used exclusively just for accessory type work.
Okay, but well, let's go with this. How satisfied are you with the maneuverability, especially your stuff is in the living room?
I love
around parents' desk and everything.
I like that it's easy to move, right?
Okay.
I like the way it stands up. My thing about the bench is I want to be able to stand it up, and I want it to be easy to stand up and pull down and move around. So it is easy to move around. I've been using it mostly to off the side for hip thrusts in the Smith. So it's sturdy. I know some people have commented that it doesn't have rubber footing, but we have rubber flooring, so it doesn't move when I'm doing my hip thrust. That's the thing for me, is as long as the bench doesn't move, and it hasn't moved. But I do know that some people complain because if they don't have the rubber flooring, that it slides on them. But I've liked it. It's easy to move around. I like that the knurling on the handle that you move it is not too aggressive. I'm not like Naomi. I'm not a huge aggressive knurl person, even on moving a bench, right? So it's an easy bench.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, like, it's really interesting to hear the different opinions in this, because Perrin, you loved the maneuverability. I think it's literally the worst aspect of this bench that almost makes me not want to recommend someone buying it. I find it very difficult to move around because of how small the wheels are. And I actually have the same exact feedback about the Bastet, which is arguably worse in that regard.
It is worse.
Yeah, I was just like, I went off about the wheels on the Bastet.
Yeah,
I put new wheels on mine.
It's scraping on but I think it's because of that little thing with the brace. The braces around the wheels. It's like it's scraping on my floor. It's annoying. But
I literally have marks in my rubber. It's like, okay, well, there's one. It looks like a circular saw cut into my floor. But the Gator isn't really much better in that regard. You can't lift it up. I'm 6'1". I feel like if I lift it up to the normal height that I lift most benches up, it wants to drag. Or if I try to like lean it up tall to maneuver it a little bit more and turn it or something, it's stuck right there. So it's very light. I can shove it around and put it where I need it to. And as a multifunctional bench for accessory work and the likes, Kinsey, you're right. Like, you got to think about the average lifter. It's going to be a great bench, but those wheels, man, go get some aftermarket wheels. But RitFit, Miklo, everybody, please just put some big wheels. You know, the skateboard and rollerblade quality wheels, those are the ones we want. Those are the ones you like are so accessible, and it doesn't make sense to me to cut corners in that aspect.
Honestly, even if the wheels were still a cheap plastic, if they were just bigger, it would it would roll around a lot better.
Yes.
But I think that might be a big difference between like maybe me and Perrin and then like you is we're a lot shorter, so we don't pick it up as high. So
that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
I haven't found it being too hard to like pick up and roll around because I'm just not picking it up as high as you are, and that's probably just our height difference, obviously.
I actually bench with the bench sometimes. I use it as a, you know.
I love it.
That's hilarious.
Carpet in the gym, so very hard to move around because it sort of sinks down, even with those tiny wheels. Yeah.
So that's something that I noticed that sets the Infinity bench apart because the wheels on the Infinity bench are probably like that big,
huge.
And I was like, oh, I like this. It's like one of the things that makes it. It's actually the easiest bench out of and I've got all three right now at the house, and it's actually the easiest one to move around. Only difference is the base is a little bit wider, so it's harder to get it around stuff. But yeah, Naomi was like, "Oh, this is easy to move around." That's actually, I'll just tell you right now, the Bassett is her, not the Bassett, the Gator is her favorite. The Gator is her favorite out of the three that we checked out. And go ahead.
I was also going to say one of the things that I do like about it that I can't, the Bastet, the flopping, because the flopping headrest on the Bastet drives me crazy when you pull it up. But this one, because it locks, right, and Nighthawk and all the others, when you pull it up, things aren't flopping around. I mean, when you pull it up, the head is on the top, but with the Bastet, it's on the flopping head drives me nuts.
That bothered me too.
So once again, that's something else that's in my review. It's like I said, and the reason I'm laughing is because I said maybe this only bothers me, but it's like it just keeps on flopping down. And actually, this is actually a good segue because we had a comment asking about the decline for the Gator. When I did decline with the Bastet, the seat flopped up and it actually distracted me. And I was about to do nose crushes with a dumbbell. And so I was like, I mean, it was, I said, I don't know if this is necessarily a safety issue because I wasn't using very heavy weight, but it was distracting. So yeah, that gets on my nerves. And that was one of the things that jumped out to me about the Gator, that seat is, I don't want to say it's stationary because you can move it, but it doesn't just flop around. Jared, I think you did decline stuff with it. Did you do any decline work with this, with the Gator?
I think I might have done some dumbbell pressing or something like that in the decline.
I thought I saw you doing like some dumbbell work with it. How did you like that?
It was fine. You know, I'm not trying to max that movement out. So there's no leg drive and it's slick too. So I'd probably just push myself onto the floor. But other than that, yeah, it's fine. I like the pad. I like the little bit softer compared to my rep bench. Well, I don't think it's even that much softer, but yeah, this bench offers a lot.
And then Carp said that he said this is something I didn't really think about, but they put extra washers in the hinges to help eliminate the wobble and the shake. And he said that's something the older rep fitness benches had. And you guys, I think it was you guys, Jeff and Perry, who said that you like it better than your Nighthawk. And we had the AB 5200 and we gave that away because once we got the Gator in. So I guess that's our replacement for the Gator. So yeah, I like it. And I did use it for some decline stuff. I did some decline axle bar work with it, decline nose crushers with the axle bar, and that felt fine. I did have something that I think could be improved about the decline, and I'll talk about that when we go to stuff that we'd like to see changed. I will say, and this is coming to you, Harry, I added spider curls with the in case you guys didn't see it. So I added spider curls with a bar to the mix as a superset, specifically because I got the Gator. So there's your hero right there, demonstrating said, superset.
Those look really good.
So Yeah, because of the angle. Because of what? What did you say, Jared?
I just haven't tried it yet. I said they.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Now I did have to adjust the roller a little bit, with to do the spider curls because of the whole. Let's see if I can get this thing out of here. All right, I had to adjust the roller, the height of the roller, but that was the first thing I thought about when we put the roller in the assembly process. I was like, oh wait, I could do spider curls with both arms, because at first I was like, well, I was thinking about the angle of the head pad. And unlike the infinity bench, you can't do spider curl. Well, I haven't figured out a way to do spider curls. I figured out how you could do preacher curls at an angle, one arm at a time. But to do spider curls, Scott curls, Yoranda curls, whatever you want to call it, you can't do that kind of stuff on it at all. And then you can do spider curls, but only with one arm because of the angle of the head pad on the basket. So with the Gator, when I saw the two things, I don't even know what they actually put them on there for. I was just like, oh, I can do spider curls. And immediately I added them in. I said, there you go. So Harry, what have you done any like unique exercises since you got it? Since you're a curl person?
I think for those rollers, mostly just bicep related exercise, supporting your triceps if you're, lying back on the bench in a seated position or doing preacher curls with it. Really nice to be able to do two arms at once. If you're only using the headrest, it's not really wide enough to put both your arms on. So appreciate that you can extend out the bench and put both arms on the rollers at the same time. I really like it. You can adjust the height as well. I think there's 4 different slots for each of the rollers on each side. I would love if it was easier to pop them in and pop them out. Screwing them in takes some time.
Yes,
but that's sort of a minor point there. I think once you know exactly where you're putting them in, you're probably only going to put them into 1 or 2 positions, so probably not use all 4 holes. But it's nice you can store them away in the foot pad too. I think there's 2 little slots in the base for them when you're not using them. But yeah, I really like that feature. I think it sets it apart from a lot of the other benches.
Yeah, I literally only use the very top one, only top hole. And then so does Naomi, because if she's going to use it for Bulgarian split squats, it's most convenient to have it there. Otherwise, you end up basically sitting on the bench if it's down too far. What about you, Kinsey?
Well, are we to the part of improvements yet?
No, I just want to,
I'm just kidding.
Well, that's next. So
yeah,
we can jump into that next. But
no,
did you do any new exercises besides hanging upside down to put it together?
So what I've been using the rollers for is the same thing you have been, is the spider curls. And for me, my triceps are super tight, and so every time I put my triceps on the rollers, my triceps are just like mad. And so I've actually, both my arms actually fit on the headrest. So I've actually been doing a lot of preacher curls off the headrest. So I really do like it for preacher curls. I think it has because it has so many angle options, I can get it just right. So that's what I've been using it mostly for.
Okay. So essentially, it's funny. So, first of all, apologies to everybody who was waiting for the Gator review to come out for me. What ended up happening is, so I shot the videos, last Sunday, and all the videos in one day. So we've now made a mental note to never do that again. Because you'll mess. So the thing that screws it up is, all the footage is on my Osmo. So then when I go to add it and I'm putting it in different folders so I know which one to grab or whatever, I was having to check and double check, okay, which handle is that, to make sure I'm not showing one in the other, and it's not the whatever, you know what I mean? But in any case, when I was doing it, I was just like, all right, is this I don't know, with as far as the special exercises or different things I was going to do with it, I just was like, well, it's essentially just this one thing I use it for. And then when I put the review out, Matt Balianu from RitFit watched the video, and he said, so I told him that we were doing this today. So he said he is going to watch He's probably not going to watch live because he's out on the West Coast right now for a thing for RitFit. But so all the suggestions that we're making here, anything, all the feedback, RitFit is actually getting. And I also told Summer, so they're going to watch and they'll get feedback there. Jeff and Perrin, what about you guys? Is there anything that you've noticed about the bench that we haven't already mentioned as far as stuff that you like that, before we move into the suggestions for improvement?
So I will say that we started using, so we have the Kepi 6000, is that the one? And so they have the arm pads on that one as well. So when we started using the RitFit one, it's slightly different. And the RitFit ones are set back a little bit. So it just hits your arms different. So the Kepi ones, because they're more forward, actually work better. I use them because I had shoulder surgery and my scapulas aren't tracking right. And so I have to take my shoulder out of curls. And so those stabilize my arm so that it takes the shoulder out of it. And so I'm not over, taxing my scapula as I'm doing my curls, which is one of the ways that it helps me. But the screwing in drives me crazy. One side of ours, you have to screw more than the other side. It's like, oh, so yeah, that was but I do like the stabilizing pads. I like them on the Kepi. I like that this has it too. I also like on this one, Harry mentioned the storage. So the storage on this one, when you pull it up, they stay put. If the Kepi one, they pop out all the time. They store too, but when you put it up, they fall out. So I do like on the RitFit that they stay put when you pop it up to store it.
Yeah, that would get on my nerves if every time I put a bench in the vertical storage, something just yeeted off across the room. I'd be upset. This actually made me, because you said the thing about the shoulder, you made me think of something that Harry said earlier. Harry, you were talking about you wish the bench was a little bit wider. Have you tried using the foam rollers as an extender, and how did that work for you?
I have. Like Perrin said, they're off. They're offset from the surface of the bench, so they're a little bit lower for that. So it doesn't quite work as well as they're making it a wide bench.
Okay.
But maybe there's different attachments they could make that screw in and are more flush and different. But I think the screwing in mechanism makes it difficult to have perfectly aligned attachments so that it locks in at the right angle.
So would you guys, just going around the panel, would you guys prefer it if it wasn't screw in for those rollers? If it was like maybe like I don't know, kind of like maybe a snap in or something like that to just be faster?
I prefer the Kepi over this one.
I don't know how it attaches, how the Kepi attaches.
On like a keyhole type system.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I personally think the rollers are like fine, or the screwing in is fine. Just maybe not having to like screw it in so much, because I don't think you're going to be doing really heavy weight off. It's more of an accessory bench. So I think if they just could you do 2 or 3, and you can fill it, lock in with just 2 or 3 turns. I think, because I have a couple of really good ideas with their system that they're using. For screwing in, I just think instead of So
all right, let's take a second here. I am looking in the chat, so if you guys have any questions or comments you want to add, go ahead, keep on throwing them in there, and I'm trying to catch them and put them on screen as I see them. So with that being said, that's why I noticed that we have a celebrity. Ashley, what's up, Ashley? You guys need to make sure you are subscribed to Ashley. Follow her on Instagram. She's got do other things, because she's got some awesome content, including a really thought-provoking video she posted on YouTube, and I believe she posted on Instagram as well. I commented on the YouTube video, so I don't know, but yeah.
Is it the one about the shopping carts? Because honestly, I've been thinking about that nonstop for the last 2 weeks.
Shopping? No, it's not that one. There's another one. But now everybody.
I stand with Ashley.
Don't explain about the shopping cart. Don't explain. Yeah, there you go. Stay there. Everybody needs to go check out Ashley's channel after the show is over and go find out about the shopping carts. All right, there you go. And what's up, Dustin? Says, "Well, look at this cast. Great morning, everyone. What's up, man? Good to have you here." And Ashley said, "Thanks." I'm telling you, no, don't tell anybody what it is. They got to go watch it. They got to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to negative. Naomi and I both discovered that our pad was slightly off center, and I actually, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, those of you who didn't watch watch my review, here is what talking about here. Let's see if I can pull this thing up here. I know I had it. I know I found it. I know I had it. I know I had it. Let's see here. Here it is. All right. One other design flaw, QCR, quality control thing that I just noticed is that the head pad is not centered. You can possibly see that on this side, the gap is narrower than it is over here. It's not a huge difference, but you can see the gap on this side of the head pad is narrower here than it is over here. And then if you see it compared to the center post, you see that it makes the center post look off center. All right, so you guys can see that. I mean, that's actually what made me see that there was something wrong. It was seeing that because I was trying to like scroll up to show the width of the pad, and then I said, wait a minute, why does this look off center? And I hadn't noticed it until, and so that's what actually caused the delay in filming, because I saw that. I said, oh shoot, I need to do a reshoot. And so I can bring that up as something that I discovered. So for you guys, I have another one, but I want to hear from you guys first. Jared, I know you found a safety issue with your center post, so we're going to start with you, and then we'll just go around, and anybody can bring up any issues they had with the bench. So, Jared, tell your center post story.
Well, it's not the center post; it's the ladder system. So
okay.
Yeah. So I set this up for all the way to the decline, and I was sitting at the end. I was going to do this like dumbbell lower back thing, and I wanted my feet to be kind of higher to get a good stretch. And I noticed it had a little bit of give to it, right? Like it didn't feel solid. I look under, the end of the back pad here was not resting on the rear post in the lowest decline. There was a little bit of air there between, and contacted RitFit about it, and they sent me a new ladder system that I put on. And I guess they had found out about it with a batch of the benches that had this issue, this defect. Harrison had the same problem, but it's funny, Kinsey did not have a problem. BJ, I think his was fine. Perrin and Jeff, I don't know if you have looked at that on yours.
Not an issue.
But they quickly sent me out a replacement ladder piece here, and I threw it on, and now it goes to the decline just how it's supposed to.
Okay, so Harry, since Jared mentioned it, let's go ahead and hear, what was your experience with it?
Yeah, I had the same issue that Jared had, where it couldn't go sort of into the full decline position because it was getting caught up on the ladder system. RitFit actually sent me a second bench to see if it was an issue with just that one or a few of them, and that one had the same issue, but they've increased their QC, I think. All the new benches coming out and all the next batches won't have that issue. If you don't do decline work, it's not really an issue. You don't have to do any decline, and the back pad hits the back post if in the flat and then the slightly decline angle. It's only the deep decline where it's an issue. So, but you shouldn't even have that issue going forward. RitFit does a great job of sort of taking care of their customers, and it's great customer service. So overall, pretty happy with how they've handled it.
I tried to find that picture you sent me, Jared,
John,
so I could pull it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll add, my concern with that was, if, let's say I was doing something really heavy in that full decline position, I was doing some pressing, and I'm holding whatever weight plus my body weight. Let's say that accidentally bent something in the ladder system. What came to my mind is this could be a safety issue for the bench now that you've compromised the stability of this ladder system, and maybe that's a real problem should it fail or something like that, because part of it bent, you had too much pressure, it's not made to it wasn't working correctly. So I forgot to add that. It was kind of a safety issue in my mind, where someone could jack up the ladder system.
No, I mean that makes perfect sense because you don't want to be benching and then all of a sudden it like drop or something like that on you. Same thing I was saying, like you don't when you're holding weight over your face, as a general rule, you want the bench to be sturdy underneath you.
Well, here's one question on this though, before we go past this. Like our bench, it's only a 7% negative anyways, so it doesn't decline all that much anyways from the factory. And ours is above that pad, but I checked it and it does go 7%, which is what they claim. Does it really need to be on the center post? Because if you're doing incline pressing, it's just the ladder holding you too. It's no different than decline if you're doing incline. It doesn't sit on the center post, it sits on the ladder system holding it there. So it would fail just as easily in incline pressing as it would decline pressing if that's what you're worried about. And that's how I looked at it. I don't have an issue with it.
Well, the bench, like where it's hard to display this, but it will be colliding, and I will do this for you guys, okay, with this terrible wheels.
Yeah.
The back pad will be hitting this top corner here. I don't know if you can see that. That's what's going on there. So this might bend over time. And like, you know, in incline, it's hitting, it's in here. Whereas in the full decline, it's free in here. All that pressure is pushing on the top of this. Maybe it's sturdy enough to hold that over time, but I don't like it. That's not how it's supposed to work. It doesn't give me good feelings about safety and longevity of the bench.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like when you're in incline, most of the weight is like when if you're up and you're incline benching, most of the weight is like pressing down more towards where your butt is, and then in decline, obviously, all the weight is like where Jared's saying, like kind of back by that where that railing could fail.
So my thing about it is before, and then we're coming to you next, BJ. My thing is it'd be different if it was designed not to sit on it, but it's designed to sit on it. And so you would assume that the engineers who put the bench together say, okay, it's going to support some of the weight in this position by resting on the post, right? So if something, whatever it is designed to do something a certain way, and then it doesn't do it that way, then to me, that's a problem because, well, what's the fail-safe? Like my face is not the fail-safe mechanism. It's just not, okay? It's not designed for that. I don't know if that makes sense. What do you guys think about it, BJ?
Yeah, I won't bench or squat without safety set up. You just never know. I've had a bench break on me before. It's terrifying. Least of which my concern is messing up my shoulders. The moneymaker's right here. So we got to protect this. But I haven't really had any concerns about the bench's stability overall. I was talking to Jared early on about it. Mine didn't have those manufacturing defects. So I haven't seen that. You know, my issues with the bench really lie in the overall construction of it and ergonomics of it, but it's not mission critical like a bench not having good QC.
Okay. I want to share that video that you shared with me just now. Let's see if we can. You guys see this? BJ mentioned.
Yeah.
So
click on it.
All right. So there we go. There we go.
I'm scared right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the
that's not exciting. That's
kind of tough to see, but it's the joint that is like literally doing the pivoting on the incline bench. That's just the weld breaks. And I had a picture of that somewhere of the actual broken weld, but it was. I think about that literally all the time still. I've told many people like I'm so glad that I hadn't unracked that bar completely, but that I had the safeties up because I mean if I had gotten that out and done even just one rep, I would have been.
Yeah, because you were using strap safeties too, so there's going to be a little bit of flex in them.
Exactly,
not a ton, but it'll be enough to at least make you change your pants.
Yeah,
looks like a good decline bench now.
Yeah, it's funny. Cap Fitness never got back to me about that failure.
I'm like, hey, the purpose of this show is to let people know, so you know who you can depend on. So does anybody have? I'm gonna say that my issue with the decline or whatever is, and maybe this is just me, but I want there to be some sort of like maybe a tick mark or something to show when you go from decline back to flat. So it's like minus 2.5 or something like that, right? So he goes 2.5 minus 4.5 and then minus 7 or something like that. All right, well, the difference between minus 2.5 and 0 is not great enough for me to be able to tell with the naked eye whether I'm back at flat or not. And there are no numbers on the post.
Yeah.
Well, even then I don't know, because so the way I realized something was wrong is I was benching and I was like, and so the way, just side note, the way my training goes is like, it's based off of like percentages. And so I'm like, okay, well, so at this percentage, I should be able to do this many reps, you know, depending on what I'm doing, right? So anyway, so I'm doing weight, and I was just like, this is a lot easier. Like, and then immediately I'm thinking back, like, okay, well, what was my sleep like? What was, you know, and I'm thinking of all these other things. And I said, wait a minute. And I go get my level, which I mentioned is a essential piece of home gym gear, and I put it on the bench, and oh, I'm still a decline. So for me, that's irritating because I'm currently building towards a goal, a specific goal on the bench. I don't want to have false numbers based off benching at 2.5, at minus 2.5 versus being at 0 when I think I'm at 0. It's fine if I know I'm at 2.5, minus 2.5. You know what I mean? So I said they need to put the most cost-effective solution I could come up with was for them to put a little white tick mark to show that you're back at 0. I don't think that shouldn't cost a lot, right? What is there anything you guys saw?
Need positions between flat and the deepest decline, or do you think those two would be sufficient?
Yeah.
I mean, well, so when I haven't seen any issues going down, like you can tell from 2.5 to 5 or 4.5, whatever, you can see, okay, it goes down. It goes down. But when you're on the way back up, even if you go one at a time, it's like locking. And then a couple of times it's like just skipped one because I just, you know, I'm in a hurry or whatever. It just skipped one. And I'm like, am I there? Did I go high enough up? I can't tell. Yeah. And so, yeah. I don't think it'd be, I can see numbers on all the holes, but I think that the tick mark at 0 is a must.
My point, I guess, was if you'd only have two positions, one that's decline and one that's flat, it's much easier to tell the difference.
I'm with Harry on that one.
Oh, you said like not having like the, so you mean like just having the 7, the minus 7, and then
I don't think you need minus 2.5. I'm not sure what people are doing.
I think they built it because they're like, oh, it also can do this. It's one more.
Yeah, exactly. May as well.
Well, you're only dropping 4 more %. Just drop to the 1 at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So my pushback on that is my elbows are happier with me if I do it. If I do nose crushers at minus 2.5 than if I do it at 0. And I don't need it all the way down at minus 7 to do decline nose crushers, because then I run into the issue that Jared was talking about where you feel like you're sliding since there's not a leg holder. So that's what I use minus 2.5 for, is nose crushers, because I got 52-year-old elbows. Actually, they feel like they're 60. Were you going to say something, Kenzie?
No, just before we move past this, I had to bring this up.
We're not going anywhere. We're talking about stuff we don't like. Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just, before we move past like the whole decline thing, the wild goose chase that Jared had me on had me stressed because.
Oh, like did you find a problem?
Well, weeks. Yeah. So how he laid it out, he's like, "Hey, so I found a problem with the bench. I want to see if you can find it." Yeah, and I immediately like ran out to the garage and I'm just staring at the bench. I'm like, you know, putting it through because I had just got it that day. He kept asking me, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" And here I am watching for the FedEx man. I get the package, take it to the garage, and then he's like, "Did you get it?" I'm like, I literally am staring at the box right now. I'm about to open it. And so
because you don't know what the problem is, so you're like, is it as soon as I open it, like what's gonna happen?
Exactly. So I'm like, you know, opening it, and then I was like, okay, I gotta film it upside down real quick. Okay, now I gotta do this, and so I built it, and then I was just like, okay, Jared, give me the evening. I'm gonna figure this out. If anyone can figure it out, I can figure it out. So I'm just staring at this thing. I'm putting it through all the paces, and I was like, okay, Jared, like I'm ready for a hint, and then. So he gave me a hint, but anyways, long story short, there ended up not being that QC issue with my bench. And so I could never really figure out anything that was like really wrong with it. And so anyways, but just, it's hilarious because the stress that Jared put me through for 24 hours, I was freaking out.
Kinsey, Harry put us through the same stress.
Yeah.
Because he had the same issue, but we didn't have it. And Jeff was like going nuts trying to figure out what Harry was talking about.
I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning one morning because it was bothering me to go down and check it out again. And I'm like, I can't figure out what's wrong with the stupid thing.
That's how you know we're all in the right space for this. You know what I'm saying?
That's hilarious. So I got to do my full disclosure. So Jared asked me about it, right? And he's like, can you find it? And I was in the middle of trying to get ready. I think we were trying to prepare for a live stream. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to look at this thing right now anyway. So I was like, okay, so mental note, go check the bench, right? But I had other stuff going. So I actually was spared all the angst. So it was funny to me that he kept like testing me back. So have you found it yet? And I was just like, I said, is Jared like stressed? And I was like, Naomi, this might be actually serious because he's like coming back at me like, hey, have you found it? Have you found it? And I was like, maybe we need to go back to the house and check and see what's wrong with this bench. And then I found out, I was like, yeah, man, I haven't seen anything. And then he told me, I said, oh, okay. And then I said, all right. So what I did do was go downstairs and check, and no, mine didn't have that problem. So we
I was just enjoying knowing something that other people didn't. That was
so it wasn't enough to have a bench that nobody else had.
And you know what's interesting is, yeah, well, you know, it's funny because you know Harry had the problem. Matt of RitFit, he had the problem too. So I kind of thought more than likely all these benches might have the problem, but then you know half did, half didn't of this group. So
right. I'd say it's because you got yours so early. So you actually
all enjoyed the wild goose chase.
I mean, on the other hand, though, because you said something about it so early, I'm hoping they caught it early enough that they didn't send out too many batches that had that problem, because that's just a nightmare having to like, okay, now I got to turn around and send this back or whatever. Did anybody else have any other issues that needed addressing with customer service, or was most of the things that you didn't like just stuff that you're like, oh, I'm just going to include it in the review?
Yeah, I didn't have any other like issues with it. I mean, it's a functional bench. It's great.
Okay.
If we're moving past customer service issues, I wanted to talk about the arm rollers themselves.
Yeah. Anything that you found that
they're great. They're cool. I can't do anything on it other than a preacher curl. I can't like sit on the bench and use I'm too thick and my back is too big to be able to put my triceps against those rollers and get any use out of it.
What a problem to have.
I know.
No, I ain't trying to hear nothing from my calves.
Humble bragging that.
Yeah. Anything from Kinsey and her calves are too big. Okay. Yeah. People comes around. Ha ha ha.
But I actually had been reaching out to Kepi to review their bench alongside this one, because the arms on theirs stick out further than the backrest pad. So in my mind, I'm like, this will work for someone like me. Right. I know, not the common individual, but the fact that those rollers, it's not even that they're flush. They're like inset. They're set back on that bench. So you've got to be
back.
Yeah, you've got to be pretty small to be able to use that setting, which is great. But the fact that I can only do, standing up in front of it, doing like the spider curls like you were doing, John, you can obviously still use the articulating head. It's fantastic. There's a lot of use there, but I've seen that problem again with No Conformity. There's a company called No Conformity that has an arm trainer thing, straps to the seat, same exact problem. But it's not sticking out far enough. I can't get my triceps on it to actually make any use of it. So there's some limited functionality there with the fact that those rollers are set down instead of just at minimum being flush with that bench.
So
you still have the No Conformity?
Yeah, it's funny. I saw that they just relaunched. I don't know what happened to them, but I bought it like 5 years ago. I use it.
I have the new one in. The new one in, you can adjust those pads forward.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Man, I might need to reach out to them. I literally have an OG one from like quite literally 2021.
That actually probably be a pretty good review to comparison.
Bring the new one in if you want to be able to do that.
Yeah,
that's nice. And so one thing I want to say is, because you said that, you know, like you're atypical. That's something that I hear companies say all the time. Oh, well, you know, most people don't need this because most people aren't. I was like, all right, let me just stop you right there.
Yeah.
There are, I want to say, almost 1 million people who play football in America. Let's just use that one sport. And not all of them make it to the NFL, but a lot of them are still big, and a lot of them still enjoy lifting. And so it drives me bananas when companies don't make stuff for people, like for all sizes of people. And maybe that's because I see people like at powerlifting meets or whatever, and you know, in competitions and whatnot. So I see a lot of people who are bigger, and I'm like, well, the point of, you think about this is, we have a subculture, right? So this is a subculture where you're going to be accepted, hopefully. So why would you be like, you're the person that people are trying to be, to a certain extent. Why wouldn't you make equipment that works for you as well?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand it's a money issue, but it's annoying to me.
It's a tough thing because, you know, in my reviews, I just mentioned this in one of the last reviews I did. There's this section that I always really put a lot of time and effort into, which is like, who is this for? And considering it from as many different viewpoints as possible. Yes. Because I know, John, like you just said, that I am not the 99%. I am the average person who's lifting and buying this stuff is not doing 500-pound deadlifts, 400-pound squats, 300-pound. It's not common, right? So if I can't do something on it, that doesn't mean it's a bad product. It just means that it's built for that 98, that 99 to 95%. Right. But to your point, when it falls short of delivering something so just very basic, we're not talking about like, oh, it costs more money to get thicker steel or something like that. It does leave you scratching your head a little bit about like, well, why didn't you just like, did someone actually test this who knows how to lift? And I was having a conversation with a client just 2 weeks ago.
Faxing something?
Oh yeah, who is that? The fire truck.
They found you. Yeah. They're outside your door, whoever you are.
Terry.
Okay.
So I was on site with a client a couple of weeks ago filming some content with them. And one of the things they said was that they've had machines and like demo units sent to them. And it's so obvious that whoever engineered it never had lifted in their life before, because it literally just didn't function the way that anybody who had ever gone to a gym even one time would think that machine would work. Right. And so sometimes it's like, well, you know, like these arm rollers, did somebody sit on it and like try to use it? Because I think even the average person would realize like it's probably a little too far back.
So, I mean, and I didn't actually mean to be on this topic for too long, but we're here now, and I think it's important. Is that, no, like if you go, my first job out of college in 1995 was at a public gym. And then I ended up working in a few public gyms. And you'll see that the gym equipment, you'll go to gyms and the gym equipment is like beefy. It's made for big people, depending on, so like the stuff that you see at the YMCA is, I would say, built for more of an average tennis player type physique, right? And then you go to somewhere like, let's say, Powerhouse or Gold's Gym or something, and they're expecting to get more bodybuilders in, right? And bigger guys. And so their equipment is beefier. And so you attract that kind of clientele. There is obviously a big enough market for people who want big, beefy, strong, and don't call it commercial grade. I'm saying, like, because to me, commercial grade just means you can put it in it can last for a long time because it's going to handle being used by a lot of people in, you know, every day. I'm saying something that's big enough. Okay, here's one. So I was at a strongman competition in Maryland, and I talked to Johnny Waz, the guy who runs Big Dog Strong, and they had some rogue farmer's carry handles, right? And they were bent because the people in this not national level strongman competition were so strong that they were using it over and over. And you know, you drop it if they do farmer's carry, you drop it when you're done. And the weight on there was so much that they bent the rogue farmer's carry handles. And he said, yeah, the way I design my stuff, like, to be honest with you, you got to be able to squat like 500 pounds to be able to use my stuff for it to even make sense for you, because it's got a certain level of density to it. And I'm just saying, if anybody's watching this, don't assume that there's not a market for bigger, beefier stuff, because there are a lot more people out there who are willing to buy this stuff, and then they find they have to go buy used commercial equipment to be able to outfit their home gyms because you won't meet their needs. So I just want to stop there. And I've had the conversation with enough people who get frustrated because they're like, I can't use that. It's too small. It just, like, even a bar, it hurts my hand or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's that. So one thing that I said is I wish that there was a way to add a leg holder, because we're talking about adding attachments. I wish there was a way to add a leg holder to fix the decline problem, so I could do decline sit-ups on there. What would you guys add to the Gator?
I think that's actually like something I was genuinely shocked they didn't have. I was like, okay, it's literally the same thing. These rollers are the exact same thing that would go on a leg roller. Yeah. Why wouldn't you include a piece to plug into the front that you can then plug those into and get even more functionality out of it? But after being on site with the Tib Bar guys and looking at that Apex bunch, I have a feeling that like next year we're going to see 10 copies of that for sure. We're going to see people trying to put everything in the moon, including a squat rack, right into the freaking bench. Excuse my language. But like it's even that little basic thing, I think is going to become a lot more common, because a leg roller like that, it's not uncommon, but it's usually been like a pretty high tier bench that has something like that, like a rep bench or something like that. This Gator, to me, the literal first thing I thought when I looked at it was like, oh, where's the leg roller? Like, where do I plug this in for the legs?
That's what I thought too when I first saw the foam roller sticking out. I was like, oh, those are leg rollers. Oh, cool. And then I was like, oh wait, you actually can't do that, right? There's just a little side note. I have in my notes over here that when we start when I ask for suggestions for improvement, to start with BJ. And like he just automatically, I was like, yeah, I was gonna go to BJ. All right. And so now we're going to Jeff and Perrin because me and BJ, we're right here. All right, go ahead. So what about you guys?
I would like BJ. I don't like the depth of those arm pads. I'd bring them forward so they at least sit flush with the bench. I wish it's only got 4 adjustments, so depending on how tall or short you are, you only have 4 adjustments up and down, when they could have essentially gone further up and down that spine without adding a lot more cost to the bench. The vinyl being a little bit grippier would be nice. And the leg rollers I'm not worried about until they go deeper than 7% on the decline. If it was a 10% decline bench, I'd want the leg rollers, but it's 7. I'm not lifting heavy enough where I feel like I'm slipping at all.
Well, actually, I think the leg rollers are I agree. It's not that deep enough for something like a decline where I need that, but I'm thinking of it from like a decline sit-up where it's like in the top of the bench and you can use it in that sense. That to me,
I have 5 other benches that I do that with, though.
Right, but you can
but we're thinking about for people who are watching.
Yeah,
like again, there are people who have small gyms and they're like, okay, I'm looking for one bench, and maybe I don't want to have a bench collection. I'm like, okay, well, that's how I'm looking. I should have framed the question better. Like, is this something that? Yeah, because I'm also thinking about, well, what if you want to, you know what Spanish squat are? I know you know, Kinsey, like the Spanish squat where you have the thing behind your legs and you can almost do like people call it a sissy squat. It's not a sissy squat. It's a Spanish squat.
You're also calling them nose crushers. So just, can you start doing whatever you're doing?
Okay, I'm sorry. Decline tricep extensions. Okay, how's that? But I'm saying like you could do a Spanish squat with it if there's some sort of leg holder, because you could put it, use that for that, facing the basically backwards at the bench.
I look at it like core and legs are the same thing. Nobody does them anyways.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
We know,
especially not Kinsey and her big calves. Anyway, I'm not letting that go. What about you, Jared? Anything you would do to improve it?
The wheels bother me the most about the bench. Comparing it to my rep bench, where you just pick it up slightly and it's rolling very smoothly. You think about how often you're going to be adjusting your bench, because I'm going to set it up for an incline or a shoulder press or something, and you set your bar up, your J cups, and you sit in it. Oh, I need to go back an inch. I need to come forward 2 inches, whatever. And you're going to be maneuvering it a lot actually in a workout, and how far you have to pick it up, and that metal hitting my rubber floors and making marks. Yeah, the biggest thing would be the wheels, and I really like Jeff's idea of the rollers could be closer to the same depth as the pad. That's a great idea. That's it for me.
So now Harry has a different kind of viewpoint about the rollers being flush. So I know I just saw you post that in the chat. So I'm gonna throw that right there. Go ahead.
The rollers being back. I think you get a really nice stretch when you have your triceps all the way back. Maybe my arms aren't as big as BJ's, so maybe that's the issue there. But I find I really like that they're set back a little bit. Maybe you could add adjustability, so if you wanted to, you could make them flush or in front of the bench or behind the bench. But that probably adds significant cost to this bench. That's really, I think, in the budget category. Surprisingly, I agree with Jeff on the leg rollers there. You don't really need them until you go further decline, but I think they would have to do something different to be able to go an even deeper decline and redesign the bench. But I don't think -7 is enough for decline press personally. I would like to see it be more. But then you would need to have the rollers go at the front and the seat so you could hook your legs underneath it.
Heck yeah.
I think
and
you and I
you
are
definitely have
agreeing
grippy.
in that. You and I are in agreement that the decline part of this bench was like, oh, we can make it go 7% to say that it's decline when it's not really an FID bench.
Okay.
It's more flat and incline.
Okay. Let's see.
Pad, I think I like the flexibility of having it slick for accessory movements, and then having the option to put on a little grippy section, where you actually need it, which is only behind your traps and shoulders when you're doing bench pressing. So you could get something that's, a short grippy pad like the UPR Tech or the MMAT one, and have the benefits of the sliding part of it for all the accessory movements you do. But only, maybe I'm wrong, but somebody correct me if they need grippy material for anything other than bench press, specifically where your shoulders hit the bench.
I just don't like the feeling of sweaty things on my body at all. Like taking off sweaty clothes is my least favorite thing in the world. And feeling a sweaty bench underneath me and squirming all over the place. It's genuinely the first thing I look at for any bench I get. Anything with any kind of like covering is what's the padding like and what's the texture of that padding? Because not only is it slippery, it feels cheap too. Like you got this amazing product, and if you felt a premium bench with premium vinyl covering on it, it's a world of a difference, and it really does change things. But I've also found that I do not like it on this one when I'm using that back pad, the head pad for my chest supported rows. I slide all over the thing. If I'm doing it in a Smith machine or like Alpha with the independent arms, like I literally slide side to side unless I'm bracing myself more. And the whole point of doing a chest supported row is to not have to brace yourself, so you could just focus on lifting.
So I was actually going to mention hip thrusts. If you use the head pad, you tilt. I think you said, Perrin, that you do hip thrusts with it and glute bridges. Yeah, I would want a grippier surface. Otherwise, it gets really exciting real quick if you slide off.
I didn't slide around, and actually what I liked about it compared to some of the other benches is what Kenzie mentions, and which is it is a little softer, because the harder benches, I just don't have that much cushioning in my back. And so when I'm doing the hip thrusts, for me, I like that it has a little bit more cushion to it. So otherwise I feel like I'm biting into my back a little bit too much for comfort.
I don't necessarily need it. I know you mentioned, Harry, that you wanted it to be a little bit firmer. And I love by the way, the fact that we all have different things that we want, because you're going to think, I wanted to kind of highlight, like in a kind of like a microcosm, the issue that a brand has when you're hearing all these different opinions. Oh, you need to definitely make it grippier. No, you need to make sure it stays slick. No, you need to, hey, those leg rollers need to move back. No, they need to stay right where they are. And then, you know what I mean? So it's to me, I think it's something to, first of all, I think that goes back to identifying who your target market is.
Yeah.
Like, right. And if this is a bench for general fitness, then it probably is not going to be as grippy as I would prefer. But at the same time, I also think if somebody's going to have this as their only bench, then I'm like, what could you do to hit that sweet spot for them? And for me, it would be to make it a little bit grippier. So like, don't make me go have to buy another. I happen to have the UPR Tech thing anyway, but I'm saying don't make me go buy something, what I mean? So for that.
And on the head pad, I just saw Colonial Barbell's comment too. I've been thinking about this the whole time. And I haven't heard anyone mention this yet. So number one, obviously you literally can't use some of the holes on the bottom setting, which I think is a major oversight. My one thing with this bench and the Bastet and any other one that I've used with an adjustable headrest, except for one, and I'll mention it here in a second, is that the way that you lock that head in is this pin, And on the Gator in particular, I've noticed that it can be a pain in the butt to get that thing to go in and line up correctly. It's really annoying. It's time consuming would be the wrong thing to call, but it's just a distraction in the middle of a workout. I have no idea why no one has done this, but Landmark Athletics just came out with their Remington bench, and he uses a pop pin. And I've been wanting that for so long, and I don't understand why none of the other ones are doing it. When I was on site, I got to use it, and I was like, well, maybe it'll be a little bit weaker, but I loaded up 400 pounds on it, and that thing's not going anywhere. So getting rid of that whole pin that you got to pull out, which is just difficult in the first place, I think is an immediate upgrade for any of these benches.
So I say that that thing about the head pad is something I brought up in my review, is that so unlike the Bastet, the Gator doesn't go all the way down. And interestingly enough, so we've had I meant to play this in the beginning, but I ran out of time. So we've had every iteration of the Gator. So we had the first one as a part of like a kind of like beta test to give them some feedback. Then we had version 2. We saw version 2 when we went to Chino Hills to their grand opening, and then now we got this one, right? And the one in Chino Hills also went all the way down. This one does not, because there's a little, it hits the little brace, so it doesn't actually go all the way down. And so which is good, because to your point, if you have the leg rollers in, the pin doesn't go all the way into some of the holes in some positions because it runs into the leg roller, right? And then for the other positions, you kind of like got to be like focused, like, okay, you're threading the needle a little bit. So I do think that that's something it didn't bother me enough for it to be an issue, because I found that if I put it down at that angle, like to do like a one-arm preacher curl or something like that, I just leave it on the brace, and I just let it hang off the lanyard, and I didn't worry about it. But yeah, that is something that I noticed, and that's a good call out there.
Can I interject real quick, John?
Sure.
Before we move past, is it echoey for me at all? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're good.
My headphones died, so I'm just.
I saw that in the live chat. I was like, but she's talking. What are you talking about?
Well, so hopefully I can articulate some of my thoughts and it comes across.
Sure.
Okay, but so I think some of us home gym nerds get a little bit lost in the sauce when it comes to upgrades that we want to see, because most companies are trying to hit a certain price point. So for the price point of this Gator bench, like, I personally don't think they need to like upgrade the vinyl, all those types of things, because I think it is made for general population. That being said, some cool things that wouldn't cost them extra money, that they could literally just upgrade. Like, I don't want RitFit to feel like they need to make a version 3 or anything like that, which it would be cool if they did. But some things that they could just do is, like, I was thinking to kind of combine the Kepi 6000 and what the Gator has to offer, because I think the roundness of the roller helps for some movements, and then bringing the flat part of like kind of the Kepi feature where it kind of sticks out farther would be nice in some movements too. So I think a really cool thing that RitFit could do is just come out with, since it already has, like, you can screw it in, a half roller, half flat. So one side you could twist so that it's a roller, like it's rounded.
That's a really good idea.
Then you could twist it so it's flat and it sticks forward a little more. And I don't think they would have to change anything on the frame, like maybe, but that way you have the best of both worlds. And like, if people prefer the roundness of the rollers for some things, or like BJ was saying, if they had a way to screw in those rollers for like ab work and decline work, one side's flat, one side's a roller. So I thought they could do that and add that, and that would be simple and easy, and it would just make this the best of both worlds. The other thing and this is a small thing, but it's just kind of going along with what BJ said about like the Apex. I think like some of these benches need to stay in their lane as far as like, general population. I think what RitFit is offering is obviously completely different what the Apex is trying to offer. But just little things that they could upgrade to make it kind of like a halfway happy point for people that don't want to spend money on the Apex is there's like a lot of cool attachments you can put in that like post area. Like, I think it would be cool if the post could remove, and then you could have like a little, because I was doing preacher curls. I don't know if anyone saw like my Instagram story, but I was doing preacher curls with the headrest that folded down. And I thought it would be really cool just to have like a little hook like this to grab your curl bar. And so, because I was actually resting my curl bar on that like post, and the pads were protecting my upright from getting smashed by my curl bar. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like I can drop this curl bar, and the arm rollers in their storage position are keeping my my curl bar from hitting my upright. So that was pretty cool. And I figured, I'm like, it wouldn't be that hard for them to just have this like little insert that has like these little hooks that holds your curl bar. That way it feels half apex, half budget friendly bench, and RitFit wouldn't have to do like that much engineering into what they already have here on the version 2. So a couple of things there.
No, I think that's good. Let me so this I'm gonna pull up a couple of things based on what you said, BJ, and then what you said, Kinsey, right? So I'm starting with Kinsey. So you were talking about it being a half pad. So that made me think of the Elite FTS shoulder saver. So I'm gonna share this screen, and so for those of you who are not familiar with that, this is basically for people who can't come all the way down on the bench. You want to save your shoulders. So that's basically what it is, and it's intended to attach to the barbell. So that's what that holds for. So it looks like that, right? So I can see what you described immediately sounded to me like this.
Yeah, literally that shape. So you could have like a flat, like I was saying earlier, like the roller can be a little tough on my tricep, like when my triceps are tight and I have a lot of, if I'm curling something heavy. And so it would just be so cool since it already twists in, they already have that system going for them, that they make it so, and like we were talking about earlier, we don't like having to keep twisting. But if they made it so that you're only twisting like, 3 full twists, and I think like you could get it to where, it's tight enough where you could use like the flat part, and then you just kind of do a half twist over to, the round part. So I think that would be really cool.
So like the kepi, right, Kinsey?
Right. Yeah. And then it can come forward, or it can like sit back if they do it right.
Well, because the kepi is half round, half flat.
Okay.
Right. Well, no, so yeah, kind of like what's up on the screen. So they could just set back like the padding on that rod, right? So that way, if you twist it, it'll be flat and flush. Or if you twist it one twist forward, it will the round part will sit forward, or vice versa, just depending on like how they're designing it. I think that would just be like super simple to do because it's already a twist system, and then that would just like it would solve a lot of problems that a lot of us are bringing up, because we're like, the rollers are kind of like the main feature of the Gator, but most of us sound like we don't love it, if that makes sense.
So well, it's funny because I didn't even see the rollers. I say that that's something that's different, but to me, what sets it apart from like the Bastet is the fact that the dang seat doesn't flop when you put it in the vertical storage position. And I feel that I feel that the handle, this is something else that this is a Bastet thing, right? The handle on the Bastet is angled slightly down. It's more difficult for Naomi to get her hands under there to pick it up, because at the angle that it is, her fingernails will basically hit the ground if she's not careful first, right? And so the angle of the handle for the Gator to me is fantastic, because it's something that's built for more than, it's more accommodating to more people, right? So for me, those are just two of the things that set it apart from the other. The seat gap also is less noticeable on the Gator than the Infinity Bench. So to me, that's something that sets it apart, because that's the stuff that I notice. Because again, it goes back to ultimately, it's functionality, not necessarily like the cool things or whatever. Like I could take those rollers off because I don't use them for incline curling, because I want to go back as far as possible, because I'm tighter than Dick's hat band. So I'm like, any opportunity to stretch is a good one. And so yeah, for me, the rollers they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's got that too. You know what I mean? Most of the time I use it without the rollers in. I want to share my screen for this Remington. Is this what you were talking about, BJ?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, this is an incredible bench. I think
so. It's got the pop pin. I wanted to so
you can see a little red dot there. That's that pop pin. And Kenzie, like you were saying, these are the opposite ends of the spectrum, right?
There we go.
And pairing you two, this is a heavy bench with nice, durable, thick foam. It's grippy.
Okay.
And this is the bench that he really wants you to buy with his new Luxor 3x3 rack, right? And when we were there, we were talking about who's going to buy the 2x3 rack with all the cable stuff, accessories, the jammer arms. Well, it's going to be someone who's not really deep, probably into the home gym world, where they want that 3x3 rack, where they need that heavy support. They want a bench like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is genuinely one of the heaviest benches I've moved around, and I don't mind a heavy bench, but I understand why a lot of people do. So that pop pin, though, above all, to me, was the coolest thing on this bench, and it was just such a simple little thing.
I'm like that. It's a plastic pop pin for that. You know, the price of the bench.
It's all metal. I mean, it's all metal on the inside, but to your point, it's just a plastic coating on the pop pin. But it had such a nice, satisfying
it gives
sound.
A budget look.
Yeah.
So Colonial Barbell said, I thought about removing the decline post and putting up a curl bar J-cup setup. I can see that makes sense, especially if you don't have a rackable curl bar. So yeah, that rackable easy curl bar.
I think something like that might make sense because the headrest folds down, and so it is an accessory bench. So it's like capitalize on that instead of it trying to be all these things. The apex is being
just make it an accessory bench.
Capitalize, on an accessory bench and just have like 2 or 3 little like ports you can put in that decline post area where you can do your curls out of like on cable curls or whether it be barbell curls, whatever.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, sorry, Jeff had to leave because he had to get ready for work. But I would love for it to me, it like Jeff said earlier, it doesn't really count as an FID bench to me because it doesn't go, it doesn't have the markings and it just doesn't feel like one. And like we said, we have a lot of benches, but if it were our sole bench, a true decline bench is what's important for me. I do a lot of decline work. And so I would really want it to have a bit more of a decline effort if it was going to be my sole bench, right? Even as a budget bench, that's what I would be looking for in this, as well as for improvements.
Okay. So I think that we got all that. Carp, welcome back. I know this is a good one today because Carp came back. All right. So you still got to be in the replay gang. You have an obligation. You're the president of replay gang, so you still got to come back and watch the entire thing on replay. So last thing is, how do you feel the Gator compares with the other benches on the market? I think we've kind of already touched on it a little bit, but we haven't. And I wanted to make sure that I got some feedback from people who had used the Bastet as well as other bench and the Kepi. But I want to hear from you, Jared, and I think and you, Harrison. Just how do you feel? Just from a consumer standpoint, if you're going to go buy this thing, compared to other benches that are on the market, where does it stack up for you? Go ahead, Jared.
I think it's a solid option. I think it's sturdy, it's safe. I like the padding. The little fold down piece is really nice. It offers a lot of variety in my gym, especially, it's a second bench for me. I've still got the Rep AB 5200 2.0. I like the color options, the black or the red. I do have a black and red theme. Like Harrison said, if the grippy pad is something you really need, you can always add a little thing on there. There's probably some multiple product options to do that. One thing I didn't talk about, so sometimes you're doing like the overhead stuff for triceps or whatever, and this foot folds down. I've found sometimes I stretch too far back and I might touch the pad. Simple fix there. Put it on an incline and then, put something under your butt, like a yoga block or a piece of foam or something, because I don't know what this distance is, but I'm not that tall and maybe even some shorter people using it. If you bottom out there, just, get your butt up somehow. But overall, I'm really happy with it. I did send you that lifting video, and at the 15-degree incline, B plus some weight, plenty sturdy enough. So there are obviously some room for improvement. I don't think a perfect bench exists out there, but I think it is a solid option and pretty budget friendly as well.
So I'll just go ahead and play right now then. There you go. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like no wobble. And then even in, I know you were talking about the rubber feet, whatever, but it doesn't look like it's moving around too much on your floor. But I can see, you don't want to, because of the wheels, you don't want to mark up your floor. I can see how that might be an issue. And then is this one is the one showing the problem?
Yeah. So when I put it in the lowest setting, and that's still got room to go down, you can see there's a gap there. It's not touching. It's like the top of that arm here. Probably the corner is probably intersecting with the bench frame. So mine's not touching.
Gotcha. All right.
But that's now fixed.
All right. Here we go. Sorry about that. All right. What were you going to say, Jared?
The decline issue is now resolved. RitFit,
that's resolved.
Quickly took care of it. So all good. They found the problem, they addressed it.
So we're getting ready to wrap this up here. So Harry, how do you think this compares with the other 3-section benches?
I think it's a very good, well-rounded bench. You sacrifice a little bit when you're trying to do too many things well. So is it a perfect powerlifting bench? No, it doesn't have a grippy pad. It's a little bit too soft for some people, not as wide as some of the wide pads like a Thompson fat pad. Right. But you do get a very good accessory bench that has attachments. I'd like to see a little bit more of an ecosystem built out, but it's still early in the evolution of this bench. But for the price, I mean, you're getting a lot of value here in terms of what you can do. You may have to sacrifice a few things, but I think they did a really nice job thinking through what's important for the average consumer at this price point. If you step up to something like the Freak Athlete bench, you start to get a little bit more, but now you're in a different world of price point, and now each attachment is hundreds of dollars as well. So it's a different category, I think, when you look at those two benches. But those are the ones I would probably compare as the ones that are best done for an accessory bench, and ones that try to also be good for actually bench pressing.
So one thing, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking about the accessory thing. So the reason why I guess I didn't look at it as an accessory bench is because it's too wide. And I know that sounds weird because we're just talking about all this other stuff. It's like, for me, it's if you're comparing it, so if you're saying it's a bench for powerlifting, the width of I know we've got the Thompson fat pad, but that's actually an accessory bench, because you're not going to find any benches in a powerlifting meet that are that wide. So if you're actually training to compete for powerlifting, you need to train on a bench that's the width of the bench that we're talking about, the Gator, right? And it's, incidentally, everybody who's trying to use it as a powerlifting bench, it is just under 17 inches. So it's the right height for IPF spec, which is the spec that most federations follow in terms of the height of the bench. And that matters for your leg drive. Having said that, for me, an accessory bench, because I'm going to be doing like flies and whatnot on it, I want it to be narrower so I can get more range of motion. And I can't do that unless I put my ROM pad on it. So again, that's something, it's kind of like, it's a bench that's in the middle. And for like the decline thing, if I use it, like I was thinking about like all the different things you could use it for. And yeah, it would be cool, like you said, Perrin, if it went up higher on the decline, because then you could do a lot of decline movements with it. Especially for somebody who can do, like, who's got very strong abs. The degree of decline that it has now isn't enough for decline sit-ups. You got to like get it up. It's going to have to be higher. So it really is a good decline bench for like decline skull crushers. Is that better? Skull crushers than or maybe some variations of pullovers. It's not necessarily good enough for decline sit-ups and things like that. So I think that unless anybody, does anybody have any final thoughts, anything they want to add before we wrap up?
I just think it's a great bench for the price. Literally, if they were going to change anything at all, just bigger wheels. That's it.
Big wheels keep on turning.
Yeah, just bigger wheels. That's it. Otherwise,
see, that's another song reference. Only Jared got it. Look at that.
I got it.
I'm on fire today. All right. Okay, so big wheels. Everybody's, and I can see the bigger wheels. because that would actually make it easier to move around just in general, especially like if you got carpet like Harry or just for this
or turf like me.
turf. So let's talk about we're wrapping up. So Harry, do you have any Curl Timber updates you want to share? Anything? What's going on with you?
Not too much for me for Curl Timber. We're still ways out. Hoping to get some other reviews coming out in the next.
We're not getting a March Curl Timber. I mean, what's going on? What are you doing?
No, Bentuary's next, I think. But that's
there you go.
Next thing. So excited for that. But hoping to get some more reviews out in the next couple of weeks. Been a little bit under the weather, as you can hear. So once my voice recovers, we'll try to get those out. But thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. So everybody go follow @homegym_Harry on Instagram. And the link to everything he does is in his Instagram bio. So you guys can go there, follow, subscribe, everything, do all the things. Let's see. Jared, you have a grip competition tomorrow. I know you put your weight. You're sitting at 218, I think you said. So, yeah. So for those, Jared is on a water cut right now. And so he's got to make weight soon because he's got a competition tomorrow. So tell us about that. What's the comp? And I know it's arm lifting, but what's it actually specifically called? And where
it's arm lifting, side of grip. It's Kentucky Strongest Hands. It's tomorrow morning. I have to weigh in this evening, so I am just sipping water right now. I think I've lost over 10 pounds via this water cut. Thank you, Kurt Locker, offered to help me out with that and made life a lot easier. During this, what I'll just call a miserable process. And I don't know if I want to do it again, but I seem to have achieved my goal. We'll see if I can, hold off on not eating all the carbs and chugging all the water between now and this evening.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell you start feeling like real squishy when you do your what you call reload, whatever. That's why when I did USAPL powerlifting meets, that's what I was talking about yesterday with you when I was like, well, why are you why are you cutting, to find out like what your goal was? Because I remember I've done 24-hour weigh-ins and I've done the 2-hour weigh-ins that USAPL was doing when they were in the IPF. And there's nothing more miserable than having to rehydrate and you got to lift in less than 2 hours and you just feel like you're sloshing around and you're wearing a singlet too. So that's awesome. And you're just like, man, what's about to happen? So now you got to pee all the time and you're wearing a singlet. So that's awesome. So, yeah. So, but you don't have to go through all that. So, yeah, good luck with the comp, man. Make sure you post pictures, videos, whatever on your Instagram. And everybody, let me go ahead and put that back up one more time. Everybody go follow @Jared.FreedomGym on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow him. That's my dude. And now, let's see. So everybody else, let's go ahead and start with BJ. Tell everybody how to follow you. Also, what's coming up? Like, what do you have coming up next on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, man, what a question. We've got reviews scheduled out through like April at this point. It's crazy. So there's a lot of stuff coming. There's a very cool cable accessory video coming up like this month that I'm very excited to share with you all. I think you're going to see some cable attachments that you've literally never seen before. So that's going to be happening. And there may even be an award show in the running here, like an actual award show. So stay tuned. Lots of stuff coming. I'm excited for it.
All right, everybody subscribe to @Iron Clinic Gym on YouTube. Follow @Iron Clinic Gym on Instagram.
I didn't even mention Jared's going through his thing. I started my cut on Monday. I'm miserable. So if you want to cheer me up, obviously send me a message. But I'm going to be documenting that journey more on TikTok. So if you're not a boomer and you're on TikTok, you can follow along there. It'll be on the live stream, all that stuff. We'll post some stuff on Instagram too. But the cut will be going through about March-ish.
Okay. So first of all, I heard that I'm a boom. Okay, look, I don't have a TikTok. I'm in my 50s. Yeah. I own it.
Do your nose crushers and whatever else you're doing.
Dang right. You're dang right. Hey, I got my my Z-Buys bodybuilding pants right downstairs, and they're ready to go, buddy. All right, Perrin. Now that we got rid of Jeff and we can have serious conversation, tell about what's going on with your YouTube channel. Don't you guys have? Isn't your Gator review coming out like Sunday or something like that? Yeah, see, I listen to when y'all talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've got Gator review. We've got a 4-bench comparison review that we're going to be doing as well. We've got an Evil Pal rack brute rack coming out. I've got a fringe tour that I did that's coming out later today, as well as some other content. I've got my shoulder recovery series that's going to start coming out in a couple of months, or a couple of weeks rather. Lots of different content. We're having a hard time keeping up. Jeff's, as I mentioned before, UPS driver, and he's in the middle of his very busy season right now. So we're scrambling to do some of this in our free time when he gets home.
Nice.
So, but we got a lot of stuff coming, and at Paired and Powered Up on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. That's where you can find us.
All right, make sure you guys are following Paired and Powered Up everywhere. Just go ahead, just type it in, and everywhere it sends you, go there and follow them. And that's probably the best way to approach that. All right, and Kenzie, what's up? Tell me what's coming up on your YouTube and your Instagram.
I think I'll leave all the bench comparisons to all y'all. I'm just doing them individually, but I kind of get into categories. So I kind of finished up my bench categories of reviews. And so now I'm kind of moving on to hip abductor machines, glute machines, like glute bridge machines, things of that nature. So I got a couple new machines coming in for that. And you can don't follow me on TikTok, please. But you can follow me at KBEX Home Gym Lab on Instagram, on YouTube. And I'm doing the opposite of what BJ's doing. I am not cutting. I already been there, done that. Don't want to do that till next year. I'm going to be competing in nationals next December. Nice. So I'm going to be bulking for a while. So if you see me looking a little, chunky cheeks, mind your business.
Well, there you go. All right. So everybody, make sure you guys are following Kenzie. Look, I appreciate you guys. What were you gonna say?
I need a link for that. I need a link for that hoodie.
Oh yeah, the deadlifting cat.
I just got it off Amazon, I think. So I'll send
it. Deadlifting cat. Oh yeah. Definitely, yeah. In fact, I know people who I need to get them one. It's the perfect Christmas gift for two of my friends. So they have a cat rescue. I'll say, and they lift weights. So I'm like, oh yeah, cool. All right. Well, look, this was crazy. When I said let's do this, originally we were going to record it, and for some strange reason, the best time to do this with everybody was live at 7 a.m. So I don't know what that says about everybody, but that is what it is. If you guys got to get out of here, I understand. Jared, you probably got to go and pee again. And but I did promise that I will let everybody know what's in the box in my garage. I'll throw the video out here one more time so you guys can, anybody wants to guess in the comments.
Just got a delivery here at Garage Gym Life International Headquarters. Can anybody guess what this is?
All right, and I see you, Kurt, talking about I make Billy Blanks look young. Whatever. All right, it ain't my fault you're a child. And anyway, so what that is, that's what the palette is, my Synergy Custom Fitness. So you guys now know what Naomi and I are going to be doing this weekend. And we also, anybody who has a home office or anything like that, Naomi has a YouTube channel. Please go ahead and subscribe to it. I'm trying to grow that as well. The initial impetus for it was she's got stuff that she's really passionate. I don't understand someone who's passionate about keyboards, but she loves keyboards and desk setups and things like that. And so, and we actually get, it's funny because we get a lot of requests to do reviews of like office stuff. And I'm like, what about the gym part of Garage Gym Life makes you think that I'm the person? Look at that. I see your keyboard. So that means you need to, well, actually, you guys already subscribed it. But yeah, it's just like, I'm like, man, it's like, she posted a video of her typing on a mechanical keyboard and it got like 1,000 views. Like, what's wrong with these? What? Okay, this is a sickness. This is a problem. Every one of you. All right. So her YouTube is right now. She just got short YouTube shorts on there, but she's gonna be putting tips that she's come up with from working from home for a few years. Stuff that she's found that helps people. But yeah, that's what we got coming up. Trying to grow that channel, and then we've got the Frankenstein rack video coming out this month, and and of course, once we do the Synergy Custom Fitness rack, we're going to do some content about that. So appreciate everybody being here. This was really, really cool. I wasn't sure that this was going to be honest work, because this is a lot of people. I hope I did a good job of calling on everybody. Nobody felt like they were, you know, kind of left out of the conversation. And I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Nice to see
Thanks,
everyone.
thanks, y'all.
All right. I'll see all you guys later. All right. Peace out. All right. And before I go, one last thing is a reminder that on December 26th, yes, the day after Christmas, I'm going to have Jake on here to help me close out the year and give us a Home Gym Con wrap up for 2025 and an update on 2026. So until next week, make sure you guys go check out and comment on my adjustable bench series. In fact, one thing I wanted to point out is that the Infinity Bench upgrade is live on the Exponent Edge site. So those of you who have the Infinity Bench, you can, let me share the screen one time here so you guys can see it. So if you go to, it's kind of wonky, but if you go, you got to go to Edge Infinity Bench, and then you scroll down and you'll see, it'll say like recommend other products to you. And then the Infinity Bench upgraded ladder system is there. Now, what the description is it doesn't really tell you a whole lot, but basically people had asked Jason about having laser etched numbers on the closed ladder system, and that's what this upgrade is. So it's only $25. You guys can, I guess I could put the link in the video description on YouTube so you guys can go check it out. This is not, I don't have any affiliate or anything like that. I just happen to think that this bench, especially since it started this whole 3-section adjustable bench thing, is a good one. And I think those of you who already have it have an upgrade that you can use. And then also the actual upgrade with all the suggestions that we've made to Jason, that's coming out in, like he told me last night, he said 2 nights ago, he said in about 4 months, you'll see like that upgraded bench. So I'm excited to see that. And when that comes out, we're going to we're going to add the video of that bench to my series. Okay. So there we go. And that's it. So anyway, got a lot of good stuff coming up. Hope you guys are enjoying your holidays so far. And I appreciate everybody being here. Until next week, keep posting in the community section. Keep sharing our channel link. Help us grow. You guys keep on stacking days. All right. Peace.